And they can hear us.
Yeah.
They can hear us.
Spicy, bro.
That's too.
And Pinzo likes vegetables. Lit. I'll be honest, bro.
I mean,
I hate vegetables more
there's
now.
today.
I hate vegetables more now than when I was a kid. Swear to God.
Really?
Swear.
I'm
Vegetables
starting to like
now.
vegetables more and more now. Yeah.
Only vegetable I like is bearded.
Whoa.
He
That
called
was
you a
potato.
potato.
Dang.
Real quick.
All right. What's up, everyone? Welcome to I can't even say this week's episode of the Predecast, right? This month's episode of the Predecast. We're still working on the time frame, right? But yeah, so
Back to the Predecast.
well, this is official second stream of the year, right? Last one that we had was at the beginning of January, and there's been quite a bit that's happened since then. We definitely got to talk about later also whether we're going to do these little shorter content depending on what happens. So we'll talk about that as we go on. We'll ask the chat at the end of it. But it itself,
people think, yeah.
yeah, we'll get the vibes. But all in all, before we actually get into it, let's get a couple of introductions here. First and foremost, we're going to start with Medkit, the one and only Prodigal Son returns, right? Then we'll go ahead and go F6, Pinzo, Bearded, and myself. Tell people a little about yourselves.
Hey everyone, it's good to be back. So I'm Medkit. I was on the Predcast before. Back as a guest again. It's good to be back. Good to see you guys again. I did some PCC desk analysis with F6, and let's see. I make YouTube content and I make memes on Twitter.
Spicy. Yeah, the meme king.
I don't know, man. I made a pretty fire meme the other day.
Did you?
Oh, you talking about the Dr. House one?
The Dr. House.
That was
meme,
good.
yeah.
That was good. I finished reading it and I was like, son of a bitch, bro. He's
I
right.
didn't see that one. You gotta show me that later.
You didn't see it?
I'll tag you on it on Twitter while we do our intros.
DM me. Yeah, let me see if it's like.
I'm just saying. I made a pretty fire meme. Medkit does make banger memes, I will say. But I had one. I had my one for the month. So yeah, outside of my one meme for the month, Pinzo.
Oh, dude, I made one today. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I did make one today. Yeah. Let me see if let me dig for it.
Y'all are going all out of order. Go F6.
Hey, what's up? F6 here. I stream on Twitch, and every 3 or 4 months make a YouTube video whenever a new hero comes out or something like that. But other than that, here on Predecast, do some PCC stuff. I do casting and some desk work and just chill out, vibe out, enjoy the game. Other than that, I like milk.
I like
What the? I mean, hey, bro, get your calcium,
2%,
right? Like,
4%, skim milk, whole milk. What are you drinking?
Right now I'm on my oat milk. Trying to.
oh, you're one of those, bro. Like almond milk, oat milk, whatever. That's not
you
milk.
can't even say you like milk if you drink oat milk.
All right, well, getting bullied here.
He said, I don't feel welcome.
That's what you like. You like oat milk.
I'm getting bullied here. All right. What's going on, everybody? It's I, the people reading your Michigan Wonder, and I'm definitely excited to get this episode to you. And I got some spicy MOBA comparison numbers to get to you here in a little bit after Windu is done doing his introduction. But happy to be back and can't wait to get back more with you guys. All right. So Windu, take it away.
MOBA comparison numbers. You just confused the shit out of me, bro.
Interesting.
Right? What's up, guys? I'm Windu, also known as Windu the Mace. You'll find me either on Twitch, YouTube, creating content, specifically Predecessor. As of late, I've just been doing a bunch of scrims behind the scenes, bro. I've been really diving into this whole kind of practicing with the team and stuff, so that's actually super cool. But all in all, this is the Predcast. Essentially, we go over Predecessor news as frequently as we possibly can, because at this point, we're a little bit torn schedule-wise, because we'll have 1 week where it's like nothing happened. And then we'll have another week is like something medium happened, but we can't do like an hour-long podcast off of something like just those 10 minutes, right? So we've been talking about how to make things a little bit more frequent for everybody, but we do compare to other MOBAs like Bearded was mentioning here, but we try to keep it as focused as possible on Predecessor. And I'll be honest, I kind of just want to hand it off to Bearded and see what the hell he's going to talk about numbers based. Or
No, not yet.
You're not gonna go too deep?
I gotta crunch the
He's-
numbers a little bit real quick.
He's doing some
He's
math.
got the calculator on right now.
almost.
He's like, it's when he was doing that whole entire trying to reveal all the signs on the back of the screen.
Right?
Yes,
Numbers,
almost.
Mason. What do they mean?
Yeah.
s- That's a good meme for. So let's do this. Let's go over what Predecessor has kind of posted here recently, right? Just so we can kind of talk about that for a little bit. So all in all, we have. Well, when's the last time that we did the Predcast? Was it like the 5th, the 6th, something like that, right?
It was when Kwang released, or like the week after.
Kwang release, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
like,
was, the,
Right out of Krang release, yeah.
with Joey.
That would have been the 17th.
So let me ask you guys, how do you feel about Kwang as is? Because we haven't really talked about him.
Oh, I love
Underwhelming? No, you like
My
him?
favorite. Yes.
He's actually overwhelming.
fact,
Yeah.
You think so?
I made a build guide and a offlane matchup guide versus a Feng Mao. It's up on YouTube now. But I've been playing nothing but Kwang if I get the chance, you know?
So,
I
think
just-
he was bad, and then they buffed him, and now he's really good.
so you think the buff made the difference?
I don't think he was ever bad.
I don't think
I
he's
think
ever
he
bad.
was
That
very
tether's
mediocre
broken.
before they buffed him.
Hello?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I thought he was
He
good
was
before
worst
the buff,
character in the
but
game then, but
What, over Sparrow? There's no shot, dude. You trolling.
There-
yo, you leave my girl alone, bro. You leave Sparrow alone, sir.
I think it came down to people not necessarily using his kit properly.
Mhm.
That tether's just way too broken, and like in the offlane, that shield trade potential is ridiculous. I don't think he was very strong when he came out. Like, he still definitely
Well,
needed those buffs, but
the fix to the ult and the right click hitbox, it makes him twice as good in the off lane. That right click
Yes.
didn't hit people before, and now you can actually hit people with it.
yeah, I was definitely one of those like, I'm pretty sure I was right next to you there, bud.
Well, because
And kinda-
he has the shortest auto range in the game, and his right click was auto attack
Does he?
range. Yes, he does. His auto attack range is 275. Most melees are 300. People with big weapons.
you got to be like
generally
point blank,
are
point
longer.
blank.
Like Feng Mao's is like 425. Seb's is like 375.
How does that make sense though? Because doesn't he
Greystone's
have
is
a
like
big weapon?
325. Yeah, he has a ginormous sword.
Yeah.
He has
Greystone has a longer
big ass
he has a
sword.
attack
glaive. It's not a sword, guy. It's a glaive that Feng
Oh,
Mao
Fang,
has.
oh, you're talking about Fang. Yeah, Fang's is a
Oh,
glaive.
no, no, I'm
Giant
talking Kwang.
sword.
Kwang has a
Kwang
giant
has
sword,
a
right?
sword.
is bigger than Greystone's.
My
Greystone
dude's
has
walking
longer
around with a
range.
keyblade up in these streets, and he's still at shortest range.
Swords.
We're comparing sizes now. Yeah, we are. I'm
You know,
just saying, man.
Kwang and Greystone fought for that sword,
Is
and
that the
Kwang
lore?
ultimately won.
Is that like- Like Predecessor lore?
yeah, yeah,
Well,
Predecessor.
Paragon lore,
Not
I
actually,
guess.
no, that's Paragon.
Paragon lore.
Paragon lore. I don't know if I should continue. Just tell me to
Kwang,
shut
Kwang
up.
wanted the sword
No,
that
you're okay.
made him have a shorter auto range.
I don't know.
I-
if they
Really
that-
fought
that's an
for
interesting
that?
choice.
They fought. He beat Greystone. Shinbi was inspired. Decided not to be a shaman like her older brother, so she became a pop star in Omega City. That's pretty much it.
There you
Yeah.
go. Medkit with. That's why we bring Medkit on for the lore dump.
The lore
Yeah,
dump.
yeah.
For everybody
The
that
lore
wants to
dump.
know the lore.
Bro, you must be loving that lore dump that we just got
know,
today, bro.
Like,
Which we'll go
shamans
into
are
it.
Like magic and conjuring animals, and Shinbi didn't want to do any of that shit. She wanted to be like parents are telling her, "Oh, you have to be a doctor, you have to be an engineer, you have to be a lawyer." No, I'm gonna be a pop star, bitch.
True.
Good
But
to
yeah,
know.
definitely-
The more you know.
I definitely think they should
Oh shit.
kind of just centralize their auto attack range, to be honest. Kind of just depending on weapons.
I mean,
Like-
I think having extended auto range is fine, but having characters with weirdly short auto ranges feels really weird.
Yeah,
like,
No, that's
Varus and
that
Feng
is
Mao
a
having
weird.
extended range is like, they have giant weapons. I kind of understand.
No, that's
But,
what I'm
like-
saying. So like, if somebody doesn't have like a ridiculously like reason for them to have a longer range, they should just have like a standard one. Just be like, hey,
That's
there's
how I
our bare
feel.
minimum range, and then everybody else that has a longer one, there's a reason for it. Like, okay, we know Zars has one because he's using a spare, even though he holds the spare really short, so he
Yeah,
technically
right.
shouldn't.
Yes, correct.
Fair.
But
Yeah,
One
he
of his
does.
auto attacks is his shield.
Yeah. The shield one makes sense because the shield like extends. So I'm like, okay.
Okay, yeah, sure. Allegedly.
Allegedly. I mean, it technically does. What do you?
A little bit.
A little
Like, you
bit,
just-
not
a
like.
tiny bit, man. Mostly his arm. But no, I kind of agree with you. But yeah, Kwang, when his right click hit auto range, he felt really dog because you could never like you could get the shield for the trades, yeah, sure, but you would never do damage to someone with that right click. So
Yeah, you gotta be like
his ult
super
and his right
on
click
him,
yeah. I
feel
think-
considerably better.
I think what
I actually
a lot
haven't
of
played him
people also
post-patch.
struggled- wait, what?
Oh, sorry. I was saying I haven't played him post patch at all, so I haven't even tried it
Oh.
with the changes.
Okay.
Damn, not you hating on my boy Kwang like that.
I was
Yeah.
defending him, July. Go ahead, man. You-
Also, I think a lot of people struggled with builds with him too, even more so than they did with someone like Seraph or Xeris. Just because he's like the first of his kind. He's finally we finally get a pure AP bruiser instead of like a weirdly tanky Shinbi.
Yeah,
and
like a tank
slightly
that can
damagey
do damage.
Richter. He's like a pure AP bruiser, and I was kind of upset that like Magnify is no longer that magical shred AP bruiser item that we used to have.
Would have been
Like,
good.
it's gone now, but
It would have been really
I still,
good
I
on
still
him.
found, it would have been because like you shred, it's like
But
a
it gave you
basilisk,
power
but
too. It
for
gave you free
AP.
power.
Yeah, but now like this Magna, like by the way, I did make a video showcasing Magnify, but I said like I'm gonna experiment with other items, like not solidify like, oh, this is the go-to build. I found like other items work too, like Fire Blossom, Amir.
Fire Blossom's
Orb
great on him, bro.
even.
I love Fire
Yeah,
Blossom on him.
especially against like the Feng Mao matchup.
Well, Fire
think-
Blossom is just a broken item.
Yeah,
So-
Fire Blossom's good on almost
Another
anyone. You're
Fire
right.
Blossom
Any
abuser.
Yeah.
any magical aura damage item is always going to be solid because that's what we had. We had Mad Spore Sash and Radiant Mantle and Legacy. We had Withering Shadow and V42 Paragon. Those were always like pick no
Nuts.
matter what. They were like, because like it's the idea that hey, I have this aura around me. I don't care if this Kalari or Wraith or in front of me is invisible. I can see them because they're getting damaged and I see the numbers.
Yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong, too. Mad Sport Sash back in the day, it gave you physical armor and power and an AoE around it. So you could build power, you could build armor. It was nuts. But I mean, we can sit here and talk builds all day. I wanted to ask you guys real quick. Did you guys see that Epic did like a little tweet and it's like, yo, here's our guide to Predecessor. Try it out. You guys see that?
Yeah.
No.
It was on the
It
it was on the
a while
sixth
ago.
on the 16th of January, and I'm gonna have that up on the screen so everybody can see it.
That's right. Yeah.
While you're looking
Epic
for
Games.
that, my thoughts on Kwang. I only got one game
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
because I've been working a lot of jungle, trying to get better with certain people, Chimera, Grux, Xeris.
I think
Anyways.
his most fun matchup is a Grux actually. Bearded, in my opinion.
The
Okay.
only difficult matchup for Kwang.
Because it like no, I think he struggles more with tanks. With Grux is more fun if you play it right because like he's an 80 bruiser. You never want to all in on him. It would be kind of dumb, and especially because it's Grux, not just because he's a 80 bruiser, but like you have to play around. You have to really play around cooldowns. Both like the pull, the knockup are like I think the pull is like 22 seconds, the knockup is 18, and Kwang's tether is 16. So you can you have to use it as soon as he uses one of his. So then you can keep track of seconds that way, and then play around that.
I think he's really good against tanks. That's what
You
I've
think so?
found. I think so. Yeah, if you go any Fire Blossom building tank, I think he's really good against. Like Greystone is a little bit different, but like Seven
Oh, no,
Steel, who are
yeah.
building Fire Blossom.
Oh, I was thinking more Richter.
Richter is
maybe-
just good into ability characters.
Yeah.
Real quick, I just
Then-
paused it on the screen. This epic breakdown of the game. It's like, yo, the map is split up into 3 lanes, kind of like a beginner's guide. They put Sparrow as one of the recommended easy carries for people to play, bro.
Hold left click.
I mean, how many Sparrows do you see successfully
easy to
hold
use.
left click, bro?
Well, she's kind of bad, but
It's like what
I
Pinzo
think it's a
said.
left click
She's low. What did you call her? Low
Low,
ceiling.
low floor, high
something?
ceiling.
Yeah, low floor. No, I think she's pretty low
No,
ceiling, to be
mostly.
honest.
Yeah.
I think the highest could probably be Drongo, right?
Well, it'd be like Wraith if you count him as an ADC.
Like, oh, I forgot about Wraith. Yeah, Wraith is the
But
highest by
I
far.
think it's Rev. I think Rev is harder than Drongo. Because on
really?
on Drongo, you can just hold left click, and even if you suck at using your abilities, you still left click. On Revenant, even if you're good at holding left click, like you have to use your abilities properly, I think.
Amen.
There's nuances to his like his
Well, of
R and
course.
his
It's always
silence,
subjective.
like when he uses
It's
silence
subjective.
during like a pit fight, just silence the jungler so he can't smite it and yada yada.
Yeah.
So real quick before we get too far away, Kwang, I think he feels really good. I think he feels really well. Before I get interrupted, how he's good, countered well, or whatever, however you play. I think the animations on him feels really well. I only got one game with him, so I can't tell you how well he plays against tanks or that. That's what these guys were trying to tell you before I got rudely interrupted. But yeah, I think he feels really well. So
My bad.
I'm interested
Get carried away.
to. You're good.
He's my favorite. I can't help it. I can talk about
So-
Kwang all day.
Yeah, I'm just
He's
glad.
fun.
I'm just glad that we all voted for FaZe, though. That was really cool that we voted
Oh
for her
fuck
instead.
you!
I don't want to hear a single thing about voting for FaZe because guess what?
Shut
what?
up, Pinzo. You're the one. I joined your stream. I was like, hey Pinzo,
Shush.
hello
Shush.
YouTube content creator. Who are you voting for? And
Shush.
you're like, this is the Pinzo. This is the fucking phase train.
Shush. Here's the issue.
I remember that shit.
I didn't make FaZe's kit in the game, did I? They could have made FaZe very cool. They didn't. Not my issue. Get good. I don't know what to tell you.
Voted for phase based off how she was in Paragon.
I voted for her honestly based on how she is in Overprime. I didn't play FaZe in Paragon.
Oh my god.
Overprime is fucking
First of
sick,
all,
by the
oh,
way.
you
Hell
are
They
wild.
changed her kit.
How do we
and
get
made
him
her
out of here?
cool.
How do we get
I
him
don't know
out
what
of
to
here?
tell you.
Overprime phase? I don't know.
They made her
Oh.
cool. She
I
is
cannot
fun to
stand
play in that
Overprime
game.
phase.
Oh my god. Oh yeah.
These are for you,
lock
bro.
on, pull blind. Wee. So much fun.
The fact that you can pull enemies as a
That's so
no
stupid.
shot, no
She's
shot.
not a
It's
support.
ironic because you love lock on abilities, don't you?
I don't think everything is cool, but what they did to her in that game is interesting. What they
Yeah.
did to her in Predecessor is literally just
The only
made her the same from Paragon. They even tried to make her differently, and then it didn't
the
work. So they
only-
just made her Paragon phase, and
bro,
I
the
think that's
only
boring.
interesting rework was over Prime's Kwang.
Yeah,
I really like
Overprime's
his
good.
Playing is sloppy.
Yeah, I play Overprime on like 80 ping, so Kwang feels terrible.
Oh,
I don't know if it's
yeah.
like a net coding thing. That character
No,
is unplayable on
Isn't
my
that
phone.
normal ping for you?
Well, it
that's
is, but in that
understandable.
game
They're
it was
melee. They're melee.
He's like, I play it on 80
feel
ping like
very-
every other game, every other day.
I
Poor
do,
guy.
but games can feel good and bad on 80 ping.
That's true.
Pred feels pretty
That's
good
true.
on 80 ping. Overprime feels dog. I'm just like clipping
Yeah.
around everywhere. That's unplayable.
Ball did
Everything feels
something.
bad.
Their
Ball
range
did
feels
something to
pretty
where
good.
their ping, even though you had higher ping, their ping
Yeah.
felt good.
It's
I don't
pretty
know
That's
what else did.
the ability prediction system. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt really good doing with that one.
Pred has like a similar thing, and it works really well. Like Pred ping, I mean, I play on 80 ping, and generally speaking, it's,
You can't
it's
tell.
not super noticeable.
That on top of like the melee in that game also feels kind of wonky.
It
like
does.
shakes.
Why?
Their range feels good, but their melee just yuck.
All right, I want to go back to that tweet that Wendy was talking about from Epic.
Bro,
Why do you guys think
89,000 views.
Why do you guys think Epic did that? Like, what are they? What's the? It's not their.
I don't
game.
know.
Like, what? I mean, they do get it.
That
As
is-
people
yeah.
buy it
I
from
mean,
Epic
have
Store, you
they-
get it. Obviously a download. They get that increase there, but like, it's not like they're gonna get a substantial amount. Like, hey, this is gonna be a great value for us. You know?
Yeah, like it's not their official product. It's more
I mean, do they do this for a lot of their games? Has anyone like scrolled through their Twitter?
That's what I was about to ask. Yeah, did they
don't
do
know.
a lot of that?
I mean,
Are we
they
chill or no?
It just
well,
seems
so no,
awful.
so they advertise games, they
It's good, it's so
advertise
good, obviously.
promotional events that are going on. Like, yo, try Disney Speedstorm, try Skull and Bones. It's gonna be released soon, stuff like that.
I
But
think Pred's like special in that aspect. Like, I don't know. I think Epic Games is just doing whatever it normally
now,
does.
so here's the thing. Don't forget, it was free on Epic for a week here at the mid-December, like the 14th or some shit like that, was it?
Yeah.
And maybe there were enough downloads that it got onto Epic's radar, and they're like, "Hey, let's actually promote it, see what we can do here." And maybe we got it.
Good.
Maybe we got enough players looking into it that it crossed that threshold, and now we're maybe at the bottom of the big player list. You get what I'm saying, right?
I'm glad you brought that up because I got some numbers for you guys.
Oh
yeah,
What?
numbers.
So, at the time that these numbers were released, it was 7 weeks that we were in our closed beta for PlayStation. Okay. So, in that same time frame, or within the time frame that the numbers were released for Pred, PTO also had 2 closed betas that equaled 7 weeks. All right. The first one went 4 weeks, second one went 3 weeks. Okay. The total match count for the first 4 weeks for PTO was 60,262. The second closed beta was 119,776. That's a grand total of 180,038. Okay.
Games, right? Matches?
Yeah, total match count.
Okay.
Yeah. Total match count. In Pred 7 weeks, total match count was 915,035.
900,000 games?
915,035.
Do we know was PTO crossplay?
PTO was not crossplay.
Okay.
Now again, these
so
are
you don't have one controller player with 9 PC players boosting those numbers.
Correct. So it wasn't cross-platform, and it was only the first one was only NA. So their first 4 weeks was only NA. Their second 3 weeks was NA and EU.
But even if you double the numbers from the first one and say that EU is playing the same amount, I mean, that still doesn't compare to Preds.
Yep. And it's only PS5. They don't have PS4.
Oh, it's new gen only.
New gen only.
Interesting.
Okay. So those numbers are showing you, 1, what crossplay can do for you. 2, what not limiting your areas are able to participate in. And 3, bringing in the old gens as well. All right. Now, I still got more numbers for you. I did put the total playtime down here for PTO. The numbers we got for Pred, they didn't give us a playtime. So I don't have that number for us. But their total playtime for the first 4 weeks was 16,713. All right. That number stood out to me because when I looked at it, their total numbers of participants was 15,268. So if you do that math, it's like 1.09 games played per participant. So it was like just
on
over a game played, and averaging over just 1 game played. So that number was kind of an odd number to me when they first put that out. That was their first 4 weeks. In their second one with 3 weeks, it was 318,878. So definitely a huge increase. Their total was 335,591 playtime, total hours played. So decent increase in their second 3 weeks that they did, right? Again, I don't have the playtime for hours because that number, it wasn't one of the numbers that was put out on the slide. But I would be interested to see what our playtime hours were for that 7 week period we had. And then the other one that I can actually make comparisons to is total kill count. In their first 4 week one, their total kill count was 2,078,667. All right. Second one, the 3 weeks, their total kill count was 4,345,678. Making a grand total of 6,424,345. Our total kill count in our 7 weeks that we played, 29,791,051 kills in our 7 weeks played. So it's insane to see these numbers, and again, it shows you what crossplay can do for you, what not limiting your where your player base can play, and allowing old gens to play as well is huge for the numbers that are happening here.
Well, you know what? Let me piggyback off of this subject because I'd love to hear your opinions on this. So yes, I agree. It's big, the fact that they're allowing even PS4 players to come in. Crossplay was a thing. People can merge together a game with their buddies and etc. But I'm gonna put it up on the screen here. We had a very, very big surge of matches played, but I've been keeping an eye on it, and so I'm looking at it on Meta.City now, which is just based off of API data. It's been steadily, it looks like it's on a downtrend. Now, I'd like to kind of put it on you guys here and ask your opinions. Do you think there's a reason for that? Do you think it might have to do with the content amount? You get what I'm saying? Like, what are we thinking here?
Oh, it's 100% the content. It's
Content.
there's nothing other than that.
Me personally, I'm waiting on ranked.
Yeah. So like, you gotta understand, as a business mindset, I'm okay with it, because the thing in business is you plant the seed when you're doing certain phases of your project. So the fact that people download the game or know the game is what you want, at least at the bare minimum. Obviously, you want people to keep playing it if you're doing testing and stuff like that.
Yeah, like it showed
But
interest
as
was
like
there.
But as a consumer, it's you're not gonna want to play it like consecutively as like you did in the beginning, right? Like you remember, like the first month of Predator was like something new. Now it's not so much something new. So unless they add more content quicker, or like kind of more stuff to do, like kind of like a ranked mode or like a new game mode, something that's big enough to sustain like more of an interest, you're going to see that player number kind of decline, just based off of people are just not necessarily interested in playing casuals all day.
What do you think, Pinzo?
Matchmaking.
Medkit can start. I'm gonna build off of what he's saying. I already know
All
what
right, go
he's
ahead,
gonna say,
Medkit.
but he can go.
Yeah, he knows what I'm gonna say. So number one is matchmaking. Number two, possibly a map, but like that's kind of a reach, you know, like because I imagine making a map is hard. Even though they had like this teaser a long time ago, and that map looked gorgeous. I don't know if you guys remember. It's on YouTube, but like a really nice map. That would be another one. Another casual rank, another casual game mode, along with a ranked game mode. The other one would be matchmaking. I don't know if I said that already. After that would be those player quests that they promised. And then finally, let's see. I have to pick one. Probably matchmaking. Why is everyone so quiet?
Yeah, Pinzo.
I mostly
I
thought
mean-
that was really funny. I mostly agree. Again, like obviously, you're gonna see a decline after the game's been out for a couple weeks, right? That's
Yeah,
natural.
with other
The
games.
fact that it's still going down and that it has never gone back up, right? Like not really gone back up.
we're still
says,
higher
like,
than what we were before, but there is a downtrend.
yeah, but we were at 0 before. I mean, right? I mean, essentially, we were at 0.
Nah, we were a couple thousand, 2,000 to 3,000 was
Yeah, we
where
were, like,
we're set at, like 3,000.
games played before daily, and now we're at
Now it's
12,000 or whatever it's at.
it's
Check
dipping
8,000.
between 8 and 10. Yeah.
Oh, it's even lower than that. Okay, the last
Yeah.
time I had looked, we were still around 12. So I mean, like we obviously have more players. We obviously have more people continuing to play. I think matchmaking is a piece of it. I only play on one account. I've never like had a new account, so I can't say how matchmaking is like at the lower ends. But like my matchmaking isn't terrible. I think it's like fairly, and again, maybe I'm just used to the way Pred is at this point, but like it's not the worst. It's not any worse than it has been for the last 6 months. For me, it's just like, yeah, I think that there's been absolutely nothing added to this game. Like just for a 10-second story time, Thursday morning, I go into Soul Reaper's stream, and he is watching, unbeknownst to me, he is watching footage from November 2022 content creator capture event. And I said, who the hell is playing with my name? That ain't me, man. I'm not even at my desk. Who is that on like playing with my name? And he laughed in my face to prove a point that I couldn't tell the difference between Predecessor at 14 months ago, 15 months ago, and Predecessor now. And I would, if he had not told me, I would have never known. I never would have known that it was different, that it was not today's patch.
I wouldn't say never, because there's things you could have saw that were different, like an item that you built that's no longer in there, stuff like that. Probably there's things that could have happened.
I mean, he was playing Severog, building first item Fire Blossom in the solo lane. I mean, it's not. That's
Right.
Not a read.
the exact same as it is now. The game looked the exact same. All the characters do the same thing.
So
Right? I mean, I would.
Yeah, but when they would have got third Fangtooth, it wouldn't have been the same, or fourth Fangtooth, it wouldn't have been the same.
So I'd like to have
Correct.
two different chats on this, right? Because one, we can easily talk about the fact that it hasn't really changed visually at all in Lord knows how long, right? Like you said, like 14 months, like right, the test before early access, it really hasn't changed much since then. But that's not really affecting these new player numbers and the influx. You know what I'm saying? Like 30 days isn't enough
It's been
for a
60+
change
days,
like that,
right?
bro. December
it's
going
been
on
since the
February. I mean,
beginning
yeah,
of
basically
December.
2 months.
It's
2
been
months.
2+ months.
Yeah.
I think that the lack of new things in the game, because you have to remember when console players joined this game is the same patch that we got those 11 or 12 new items or whatever it was, right? So
Yeah.
they started playing the game with those items. So they have not had any items enter the game. If you look at the last 3 patches outside of Kwang, what have we gotten? What has changed?
Right.
Like,
Just a couple skins in balance.
I do
but like
agree
even
that
balance wise, like realistically what has changed? Like the last patch balance didn't do, like outside of Kwang, who got I think some needed buffs, like nothing, like that's
Drongo.
it. They updated
But yeah.
a new character, right? Like
Well,
I
I
just
think
think that
that's-
there's nothing.
I think that's the thing with their balancing, the way they balance anyways. But before I get that to their balance, though, I do agree it is the content drip, but to somewhat to what's the word for how to not to like stick up for them, but like into their to kind of stand in their corner for a minute, I guess.
In their defense,
In their defense, thank you. It's the holidays. They put something out early because they're coming up for holidays, and they came back from the holidays and they gave us a very small balance patch, and that's what we've gotten so far. We haven't really gotten much of anything, so that right there is enough for these numbers to drop. Like we've had we haven't even been here to do a podcast because there really hasn't been anything really much to talk about, right? The biggest news that came out,
That's a big sign because we used to do this every week.
Right. Besides today's news that just got posted, it was the when we'll go farther into it later on, but is PlayStation getting extended, going into a phase 2 when we actually had somebody on here on the show saying, hey, no, we're going to shut it down, and then they go from we're going to shut it down to like, hey, we're keeping it up the whole time.
Which big shout out to PlayStation players because they get to keep playing for free.
Yeah.
So PlayStation players get a big W out of that.
Rigged. I want my money back.
That's the biggest. That's the biggest thing that's happened, but that only affects the console side of it, right? It doesn't really affect much of us besides the fact that we get our we're gonna have people to keep these matches going. That's what we get out of it as PC players. But there isn't anything really content-wise to like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I'm having fun playing this game. Like nothing really changed in the game, and I feel like sometimes their balance patches. Now, granted, their balance patches are, in my opinion, from my side, like again, my tier where I play. I know I'm below you guys, but where I play, the balance patches they're good. Like, hey, I can see that makes sense. Like this person needed that buff, this person needed that nerf, right? That all makes sense. But sometimes I don't feel like it's drastic enough to make that to really change the meta of the game. Like,
Correct.
okay, yeah, all right, sweet. You nerf Bonesaw, but Bonesaw is still a good item to build on Grux, and people are still gonna build it. You didn't change the meta. There isn't like, all right, this isn't a you don't not build this item on them. Like you need to do things to really change the meta and make the game feel different for a little bit. All right, let's have another 6 weeks of Grux being the #1 solo laner. All right, let's have another 6 weeks of Kai being the Greystone right now being the jungler because he's just that OP. Like they need to change things to really flex the meta a little bit to be like, okay, wait a minute, we gotta rethink this game. Let's change. Let's play this character, see what this character does, because so far right now Grux isn't feeling the greatest. Let's try this one. They need to do stuff like that, I think, to really kind of keep us on our toes and to keep the game fresh for us.
do you think it would be like a really drastic change if they implemented that 6th item that they mentioned a while ago with like
It would be enough
another
for a little
active or
bit.
something.
It would
Like,
be enough
without
for a little bit.
rebalancing
Yeah.
the game.
I was about to say, like, if they just
that's
added a
not
6th
huge.
slot, most people won't even get to it. It would have to be rebalancing the game, the gold, stats, maybe, you know? Like, that's no easy undertaking, bro. Hey, yo, quick little shout out, because I'm showing the most recent patch here on the screen. I love that Seb skin with like the greenish,
That is
bluish.
pretty great. Yeah.
Yeah,
I dig that. I'm a big fan of that.
Oh,
Even
Is
$5
it-
bucks.
Correct me if I'm
I
wrong,
have
but
added
isn't it
even
like
another price.
Obsidian,
I don't think
like
5 is
how
too
it
bad.
Has that like that colorful glow on his forearm? I think it's an obsidian color. I think that's.
Oh,
what
I
it's
don't know,
called.
bro.
I could be wrong.
The car guy inside of me would just say neochrome.
I think.
Neochrome.
Yeah, that sounds old. Yeah.
I like the look of it. Anyways, that color, it has a greenish blue to it, but then like his arms have like this red like metally copper look to it.
And then we got the energized Boom Blast and energized Decker, which I'm not mad
I'm
at.
glad they put those two.
I finally spent some platinum, guys.
Ah, which one?
Look at you.
Like ever since freaking EA, I still held on to that 10K, and then I got like a bunch more from. Remember those like, if you go past level 50, you get like 300 gold. 300
Yeah.
gold.
That was
That
season
thing.
1.
Yeah,
think?
I used I used like a good chunk
Season
of
1
it
and 2.
for affinities, and I bought my first skin. I bought the Kwang skin.
Spicy.
All right.
Why the Kwang skin though?
Because Kwang's his favorite hero.
Yeah, he's been playing like crazy. You just said it.
I've always been playing Phil, and I feel like Kwang. You know what? If I'm gonna pick a main, I want to main and one trick this guy because he's
Interesting.
like so much fun.
Oh, worth noting.
My only issue with the Kwang skin is that it's like an $11 skin and it's a recolor.
You see, I had a problem with prices of skins. Then I realized they said they're looking at their system and refund it whenever they figure out their prices. So essentially, I'll get my platinum back. So
If they lower it.
I don't. I mean,
I will not spend a dime on the game until they lower the skin
Oh.
prices.
well, I'll spend it for you.
Good luck,
Bruce.
Essex.
I was about to say, I still get skins, bro. Like legit. I literally just went back and I'm like, you know what? Okay, fine. I'll get a skin and the affinity for Murdoch that I never fucking unlocked just because I want to know. Like YOLO. Like I don't mind it, and I want to support them also. But so I'm in a weird spot because I want to rock certain skins, but the whole vote with your wallet is the dumbest thing to me, bro. Because I'm like, well, shit, I want it. But at the same time, I need like a way to voice my opinion on certain matter, right? What am I gonna do? Be a Pinzo and have no skin for 6 months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I would literally like that's less of a reason for me to play the game. I love the skins, bro. I love
It's not
sharing
like anything
skins.
else is gonna
I had
change in the
none
next
for-
6 months, you know? Like,
I was pretty satisfied with the 5 free ones I got when I bought the bundle. I rocked with it for
that's
like
what I'm
what?
saying.
over
Well,
a
then you
year?
got the free banana steel skin
Yeah,
too.
I got the Gruxpel Chimera in the jungle, like, and the Gideon Inquisitor, the Grux armor one. Like, I'm fine. I'm chilling.
Yep.
I saw a lot of people
I'm
were
all
excited.
The
Okay.
Crunch Robot rocket thing,
Okay, that skin's good.
dude.
Talking about the plane
Come
one?
No,
He's
no,
supposed,
no,
he's
the-
supposed to be like a
cockpit or whatever.
Transformers plane, yeah.
Yeah.
He's in like
the
a-
cockpit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That one.
Yeah.
I'm still
more
holding
than
out for
happy
the
with those.
tokens that we're not gonna get. That we're getting something different, I guess. Now is
Because now it's a free to play
Yeah.
currency.
Play currency
Yeah,
of
so
some
I'm
kind.
waiting for that because I got Murdoch on level 5. I got Twin Blast on level 4. I got Chimera level 4. I got
Do you have any
Sarah's on
master
level
skin? 7?
7. I got Sarah's on level 7. I got Grux on level 9. But Grux and Xeris I paid for. And Sareth I didn't. Sareth I extra grounded on. I got her level 7, but I don't have her emote because I don't have that bottom path unlocked. You know, and it's like these
I have
bottom
0
paths.
mastery skin.
I could have this, and it's like, I was like, come on now.
Who's your highest, Pinzo?
Yeah, me too, Pinzo.
I think Xeris is like 5.5. That's
Play
my
the game.
highest.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you play the game a little bit then?
I have like 10 or
He has
12
a
characters at level 5.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Doing
I
that-
cannot
doing that
play
full
like if
rotation?
you ask me to play one character for 10 matches in a row. Like I don't know, man. I would rather not do that. It's just
Yeah,
boring.
See, I
I
respect
don't want
that.
like, especially like, and again, it's not like, you know, if I'm gonna play Gideon for 10 games in a row, like how many builds can I actually go on Gideon that are like actually different builds and not just like I'll buy this one different item this game.
I mean, as
right,
a
like-
mage, there's really just
mean,
one
there's
way,
really
and
one
then
build
sometimes you
pack.
could. Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but it's not like we're playing, you know, Mario Brothers 3 here, and it's going to be the same level every time. And it's like, you know, hey, level 1, it's going to be the same turtle's going to pop around this corner, the same toad's going to pop around this corner, or whatever. Like, it's not the same thing. You could pick the same Gideon, you could pick the same kit that
It'll
you're
be a
building,
different
and the
game,
game is going to play
different
completely
team,
different because of who you're playing
different
against and who
team.
you're playing with. So, like, that right there,
like,
it makes
it's a
the game
multiplayer
different.
video game, like obviously.
Yeah,
but like
right,
what
so, like-
I am doing is the exact same.
No.
Stuff going on around me is different, but if I play Gideon and I pick the same
You are
items,
not going to alt at 6 minutes in every time. You're not going to alt at, you know, you're playing differently. You're not doing the exact same thing.
Can I just throw a point out real quick?
yeah,
The
obviously.
the average casual player probably wants to build the same thing over and over again and not have to worry about the builds. That's why they want preset builds in the game. You get what I'm
Well,
saying?
Yeah, but does that mean that like everyone else should have to do that as well?
No, I'm
Well,
just
I
saying, like,
mean-
you just sit there and make it sound like you. I just play.
The
You
one-
literally just play back-to-back Gideon games. Like all of a sudden, it's like I'm so bored I can't play this game for a week and a half because I had to play back-to-back Gideon games. That's what you. It's kind of how you're making it sound. It's like they're not the exact same. Doesn't matter if you build the same or not.
The play
Nothing's
style
gonna
is
be
the
the
same.
exact same.
He's got a wide hero pool, and
That's
plus, I think-
fine. That
I
just makes
I
you a
also
better
think-
player.
I also think if you're a new player coming into a mobile like this, it's probably best to just stick with one character and just kind of play with them over and over and over again. Like get used to their like abilities and everything, and meanwhile you're learning like what's outside a little more while the player you're piloting is pretty much the same. I mean that's what I did. Like when I first started playing Paragon like years ago, I just kind of stuck with one character. I played Murdoch because he had a gun, and the game before that I was playing Black Ops 3. I just played him over and over, got used
I
to
mean,
the
that's
game because
definitely
it was
the best way
different.
to
I never
learn.
played a mobile before.
Definitely the best way to learn, outside of having like a casual game mode. But even in that, like pick one character and learn them. Right?
Right.
It's just less
Yeah.
stress because it's not like the main game mode. You get to learn the mechanics, etc.
I just think it's
Fred-
eating at the same pizza place. There's so many different options you could do that it's not that it's you don't get. It's not the same thing. Hey, I had Papa John's 5 days straight. Doesn't mean that it's.
Yeah,
I've
but
had
I
the same
still
thing
get
all
in
the
my
time.
car, turn on my car, drive to Papa John's, walk inside, order a pizza, pay with my credit card. Like
It's delivery,
just because
man.
there are some different like aspects to it doesn't mean
It's
it's not the same.
get delivery, dude. Don't make it easy on yourself.
Bro, you're making me
I'm a
hungry.
Papa
Stop with this.
Murphy's, like,
Stop with
8
this
steps
food
from my
shit, bro.
house.
Papa
I literally
Murphy's,
was going to Pinzo's Twitter right now and searched on Twitter for pizza, bro. Like, chill out. I'm hungry as hell now.
All right.
All right, anyway.
Windu, somebody wanted you. I remember we talked last week. Somebody said, "Hey, make sure you talk about RGS Ace's tweet."
Oh,
The blast off.
yeah,
here.
got a blast or whatever the hell it was, like, right? Like that he was leaving or going off.
I think that was pred related.
I don't. Yeah, I
have no
had to
idea
go
what
look
that
for
was.
it because I'm like, what? I'm like, what? So I went and looked at it. I'm like, what is this? Like, to me, it's so ominous that I like it. How is it tied? How do we know this? ties to
random as can
Pred?
be.
I don't think that
Yeah.
was pred related, to be honest.
I think it was pet related because
I think he
wouldn't
was
have-
just being cheeky.
No, I'm pretty sure.
That
he
new
just
hero
probably
might
went
have a
to
rocket,
trip. I don't know about all that.
I don't know about all that.
or he just went on vacation.
I don't think he went on
Hopefully get
vacation. I think he probably just went to like probably a big meeting or something that he'll talk about later.
So
To Papa John's.
Yeah, Papa John's to like partner up with Shaq. you know.
I didn't think it had anything to do with Pred when I first read it. Or I went and looked at the GIF that was posted, right? Or GIF, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. I'm not going to appear to piss anybody off. But with today's tweet from Predecessor, with the hexadecimal code that you had to decode.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw it instantly and realized, like, okay, if there's a letter that goes past F, then it's not hexadecimal. And then once I saw the whole thing, I was like, wait, this is hex. So
I don't think it was supposed to be that hard to crack.
I mean,
I would have never just looked at it and be like, yeah, I got that.
I just held on my phone,
just went on
waited till the copy and paste popped up, went to Google, pasted in there, type translate after it, and then a hexadecimal thing came up. I hit translate, put that in that, and then it says, log in a Predecessor, click this picture, click this image.
Yeah, open Predecessor and click this image is what people are typing.
So I came to my computer, opened up Predecessor, clicked the image, and here it populated with this what do you want to call this? Blog
Thing, yeah.
So now, but reading this and how they're talking about transports or whatever, this kind of makes me think that Blastoff actually is tied in with Emerald, with how this goes. I'm going to read the post for those who haven't seen it or who haven't.
I'm showing it on screen too.
Read it. Okay. So engineers log 1302. All right. So that means there was 1301 before this, just so you know, Medkit.
Is how numbers work.
All right. The people of Roark kid themselves if they think this is it. Mining colonies such as these weren't built to extract such meager? Sorry, I don't know if that word meager scraps of metal and ore. It's humiliating. The surface world laughs at us behind our backs. Only coming down each month to trade our dregs out of pity or perhaps amusement, like a condescending parent entertaining a child's fantasies. The irony isn't lost on me that my fellows treat me in much the same way, indulging my fantasies of innovation. They think I'm a fool, balking at my ideas and dismissing me as a madman. Yet they're quick to silence when I embarrass their paltry mining methods with my inventions. They're pathetic, each and every one of them. The only reason I haven't left is because I must prove them wrong. I must humble them. My latest design is nearly complete, and with it I shall revolutionize excavation forever. I've heard word that when the traders visit tomorrow, I shall be meeting with another supposed genius who's eager to see my work. I protested, of course, but I know that those in power are toying with me. They thrive on discord, in all caps. I work quicker alone, unrestrained by the meek of a mind who lag behind me. The least I can hope for is someone who will stay the hells out of my way until their visit is over and their putrid trade caravans leave for the surface once more. Who knows? Maybe this bright spark they're sending me may actually prove useful. It's been so long since I've worked with a surface dweller. I'm closer than ever to a breakthrough. I can feel it. The pieces are coming together one by one. The perfect fusion of magic and machine.
First of all, I love the fact that they're even going into lore. Yeah, I'm not a big lore guy, right? But the fact that this is that well thought out, I was reading it and I was like, damn, bro, this is laying out a whole fucking story. Definitely feels like more work than Zarus, personally.
It's a cool way to do a teaser that's not just like a picture or whatever, right?
I like this. This gave me like I was thinking of this, and it made me I was imagining a world a lot like that League of Legends Netflix show. Like I was imagining a world like that.
Is it Arcane?
Yeah, Arcane. Yeah. I was imagining a world like that, like, that this is happening in, you know. and I was thinking of something like these. What did it say about the traders on their when they leave on their whatever it was? I can't think of where it is. But when they leave, I'm thinking that that's what they're gonna blast off in. You know, when they go back to the surface. That's what I was kind of thinking. That might be something around that. I think that
You imagine the ultimate has to do with like a mining cart or some shit. I mean,
I think it's interesting. I think there's some stuff to be taken away. Like surface dweller is a very interesting term. Like in D&D, that'd be like a slightly derogatory term that a dwarf would call somebody else. So like that was my first thought, is that he's a dwarf.
bro, I've been hearing that. I've been hearing, yo, what if he's like a mole miner sort of dude? What if he's not a human? Yeah. What if he's like some mole sort of dude and his like machine is like a drill, a digger or something like that? You get what I'm saying? Like, what if it's like some crazy creature, and which quite frankly, I hope it's not just a human or like just a dude that's short. You get what I'm saying? Like, I hope there's like more to the character or like something crazy otherworldly about it. Somebody in my chat earlier was like, yo, maybe it's gonna be like another Iggy and Scorch type cyborg based person. I was like, it would look kind of cool.
Well, the other question is, he talks about another genius who's eager to see his work. Who is it? It's got to be a Pred character, right?
It's got to be Decker, right?
My first thought was Howie.
Well, don't you remember the only thing that I can reference back to is, what was it? I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure it would just be Decker though.
You think it's Decker? You think
it'd have to be like a Gadget or Decker?
Decker?
Instead
of Little Rat Man?
I think what you're thinking of is that when Fault did their little reveal of a hero coming out, and they had Decker and Gadget. Gadget was working on that character, and Decker was. That might be where
I'm getting confused.
A little image. That's what I think you're thinking of.
I think it's got to be Howie, especially talking about magic and machine. There's only one character that uses a machine, right?
Yeah, but not magic. Right, like wouldn't Iggy be close?
Supplies the magic. Howie supplies the machine.
But Gadget created all of her machines. Her arm that she has on her shoulder. She has like a third
arm. Howie's in a mech suit.
She created that.
Magic,
she made that
mechanic.
Like, you don't think where's the magic in this?
Hey, bro, Scorch breathes fire, bro. That's all I'm saying.
One of the current characters is supplying the machine. They're meeting up on Discord tomorrow.
Okay. So one of the characters is providing the machine, you were saying?
That's my thought process.
If that were the
case, one of our current characters is providing machine, and this new guy's providing the magic, and they're gonna make him something really cool. The new guy.
I still think it's Iggy, bro. Because wasn't Iggy like? Didn't he basically build himself at some? Or who built Iggy? I'm going way too deep into his lore, bro.
Both Iggy and Scorch.
Iggy's like a cyborg.
They stole from Drongo's scrapyard.
Is that the only thing related there?
At least that was the lore for Paragon. They stole Drongo's stuff.
Wally in chat is saying that Gadget helped make Twin Blast.
Ooh. I honestly, I know nothing about the original lore in Paragon.
I don't know anything about the lore either, but I feel like Little Rat Man Howitzer is more likely to like be dealt with the whatever these guys are, the underdwellers.
I think you're connecting him to Rocket Raccoon, bro. They're different people. I'm gonna just be real with you.
They have the same exact personality, man.
Man,
they're saying it's Dr. Maximoff. He made FaZe, Howie, and Zinx. I don't know who Dr. Maximoff is. Wally asked the same question. I don't know.
Medkit question.
That is true. Dr. Maximoff made those.
You imagine that's who we're meeting? You imagine that's a character, Dr. Maximoff?
FaZe, Zinx, and Howie.
Oh yeah, FaZe. Yeah, FaZe.
So it does say in the mysterious notes, it says that who knows, maybe this bright spark they're sending me may actually prove useful. And then it says the perfect fusion of magic and machine. and he's talking about how he's always making all these different my latest, so he said, I must humble them. My latest design is nearly complete, and with it, I shall revolutionize excavation forever. So he's making machines, and he's getting this bright spark. Now, if we all watch,
Interesting. What if there's
the all spark is the magic? So
what if there's no
right?
is
electricity?
I was gonna say, what if there's no is from Dr. Maximov? Like, what if this isn't from the point of view of the character? What if this is Dr. Maximov creating the new character we're about to get?
I think this is from the view of the character. I think the reason his code name is Emerald is because he's an emerald miner. We've already established he's a miner. He's like he's a surface. He's not a surface dweller. Yeah, he's an underdweller of some sort. He's a miner, and you got to mine for emeralds. I think that's what I think he's a miner, and not that he's not of age. He can drink, but I think he's a miner. Like he's.
He could also be a miner.
He could also be a miner.
Miner that's a miner. That just happens to be short.
That just happens to be short. All right.
I mean, if it is Gadget and it is like the Emerald Storm, like Gadget could supply the electricity for his Emerald Storm, right?
Yeah.
And like lightning. I mean,
yeah,
fake lightning, but lightning.
And that would be that bright spark that we're talking about
That's
here, because we're talking about Emerald Storm, bright spark, Gadget. You know, it could work in that way.
I see it.
Or it could be just a completely new person that we don't know yet that's coming up in I don't know, update 17 or whatever.
Can I just say the only words that are bold here are engineers log 1302 and then tomorrow in Discord. Those are the only bold words.
That's to let you know to check Discord tomorrow.
Yeah. 1302.
Yeah, 13. Wait, what? Say that again?
Yeah, February 13th is today.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to check Discord tomorrow.
Foreigners speak, it's today.
Foreigner.
Bro, what's 1300 military time? That's when I'm gonna show up to Discord tomorrow.
That's 1 o'clock. 1:02.
1:02. All right, bet and watch.
But,
Imagine at 1:02 it gets posted.
What's 1:02? Are you gonna go 1:02 our time? You're gonna 1:02 Kari's time, because Kari posts her times are different than ours.
He'll be there for both.
He'll be there.
I'll be there at 1:02 my time, and if I'm late, I'm late. How about that?
If you're late, you're late.
That's because he's not gonna be there for both, because he doesn't know what Kari's time is.
Just add 5 hours to your time. It's Kari's time.
Nah. Anyway.
Too hard.
So what? We just think they're gonna do like a Discord post, or do you think they're gonna? Imagine if they did like a little voice chat sort of deal, and then they just play like an audio clip and just kind of play the whole Ruse game throughout the week.
The way they've done leaks before, and I feel bad because I'm blanking on his name right now, but he adds you and me both, or he sends it to you and me both. Windu, there's as soon as I'll look it up. I forget. I feel bad because I'm blanking on his name. You don't like him playing Countess, and when he plays mid with
Jomo.
Jomo, yes. So
bro, all you had to say is don't like him playing Countess. I was like, that's fucking Jomo, bro.
So Jomo is really good, and shout out to him. He's really good whenever any leak or thing happens in Discord that just happens in the normal channel, because that's the thing. And I've talked to Kari about it. She also disagrees. Just for you all to know, she doesn't like that there's a general chat, a predecessor chat, and an off-topic chat. Because I hang out in predecessor chat.
I don't even know which one to say what's up in.
That's where all things predecessor should happen, right? No, she leaks things in the general chat. So I don't see the general stuff. So Jomo will DM me and Windu saying, hey, here's this, check this leak out. And I go back and I look at it and I'm like, okay, that's good information. So I know I can trust Jomo to hit me up tomorrow if I miss it.
I mean, we have 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today is when Emerald releases, right? So like that's a lot of time. Assuming that we start getting actual like in-game kind of teasers next week. I mean, we've got like 5 days left for them to tease stuff before, I would imagine. Like maybe Friday this week we get an in-game trailer, but that's not how they've done it in the past.
Well, and can I
a
say
lot of
anything till
time.
next week?
any lead? So
Did
the
they say
27th is
about
it
his role, about the role?
mid? They said
Like,
mid.
what the role
Mid.
Said he's a mid
Yeah,
laner.
they said he's a mid laner. But can I say, like in general, just compared to Kwang, I love the fact that they're actually releasing stuff slowly, 2 weeks in advance.
Instead
Yeah.
of the day before.
Yeah, instead of like 2 to 3 days before is like, here's the ability, here's the pass notes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Again,
I
that's
think this is a
another-
big
that's
improvement.
That's another thing where the holidays screwed us. Like everything was rushed because of holidays, and I know it could have been handled better, and we can talk about that if you want to. But it's like everything is like, okay, everybody was on holiday break, and then we came back from holiday break, and it's like, oh shit, we need to put all this stuff out. And then it was like it literally was. It felt like it was rushed and felt like it was last second in a sense. But if everything would have been planned beforehand, it would have made it feel better, and it would have been it would have been a better successful release of a hero.
I'm excited. I thoroughly, even though like for example that Twitter code, I would have never guessed that shit in a million years. I would have not even taken the effort to paste that shit into Google and try to figure out what the hell it means, bro. I looked at it and off rip, I was like, don't know that one. Next. I'm out. Yeah, next. I'm out. I'll wait till somebody comments it.
I was sitting here on a conference call for work anyway, so I'm like, oh, like, well, I got time. Somebody's like, let me do this.
Yeah, I mean, all I want is the character to be fun, mostly. I would like him to be unique and not just a rip of another League character, but that comes secondary in my opinion to him being fun. Like Xerath is basically a rip of a League character, but he's fun to play. So I mind it 10%
And
less.
no lock-ons, right?
No lock-ons.
Dude, I would literally cream my pants if they released a character with no lock-ons.
Damn it, man. I was
Original
gonna
too.
say at least no more than 2 lock-ons. I was gonna say, and then
I
you
just
took it from me.
like kind of blew up the image that they shared on the game.
Yeah.
Just to kind of so we can see it a little bit here on stream, and it's basically like, you know, like this little green electric storm. I don't know if we want to kind of try reading into the environment or whatever, like this whole like
I don't really think
green
you're
lightning
reading
sort of
into it
vibe.
there.
If
I
you
mean,
zoom
go
in really
off,
quickly,
but-
you can see a face.
Where?
No, don't do it. It's not there.
Made you look.
Imagine. Be like sun.
He zoomed in on his second
face.
monitor so that stream didn't see it.
No, it ties in with the Emerald Storm. It
Yeah.
ties in with the Bright Spark. It puts it all together. As a guy who doesn't like green, I'm not too like excited about it in this situation. But the fact that it's
Yeah, but
it's a
how
brand
green
new
is he
character,
really gonna be?
I
Right?
don't know. They've been
We're
using
seeing like
a
green
lot with
lightning,
everything.
green glow.
Even
I mean, we just got a
the
blue
rules
lightning hero
So
as the last hero, you know.
Blue? I was like
Wait.
purple.
No,
yeah, isn't Kwang purple?
Kwang is purple, but his
Purple lightning.
lightning's blue, ain't it?
I think he's got a little bit of
His
both in
lightning's
his
blue?
lightning.
I'm pretty sure his lightning's blue.
Pretty sure.
I don't know. I only played him once. I can't.
I think he's got a bit of both.
I'm gonna check his wallpaper.
Chat, what do you think? Do you think he's purple or blue lightning for Kwang? Kwang.
Don't do me wrong, chat. Don't don't do me wrong, chat. Everybody knows it's blue,
Don't feel,
or I guess you could
don't
say
feel
like
pressure.
whitish
Don't
blue,
feel
you know,
pressure
like
from what
that.
you do.
It's literally purple.
Literally,
White.
not figuratively.
Not metaphorically, not
Bro,
rhetorically, not theoretically, not mathematically.
Bro, I'm pulling up Kwang
Literally.
in the AI mode real quick while we talk.
All right, and another thing they did, they requested people to sign up for internal testing. What are
Who
your
all
thoughts
signed
on
up?
this, guys?
Who all put in an
didn't sign
application
up.
out of
I did not
those
do it.
five?
I don't have time to do that shit.
I used to help them test before the game was actually released on early access, and I found out even back then I was like, I just don't have the leeway of time with all the shit I'm trying to do to show up and help them test also. So I was like, I'm just gonna bow out of this testing ordeal.
F6, did you apply?
Yeah, I put one in. I haven't checked my email though. Probably should.
I probably should. yeah, you probably should.
And I was already in it. Like, I've been tester for almost 2 years now. So
Yeah, they need 1,000 more plus you guys is what I assume.
They want the entire Steam player base in testing, man, and I didn't get in. I wonder why.
I didn't get it.
Bro, what do you mean? You're already testing on the daily, bro.
They denied me.
Yeah.
I'll say though, it's a lot more fun than you think.
I knew I wasn't getting in, but I applied just so that I could say they said no, because they've said no in the past, but they said no again.
I just don't like you, Benzo.
Hey, Devin Hester didn't get accepted into the.
Yeah, that guy shouldn't be a Hall of Famer anyway.
The
That's a
NFL
whole
Hall of Fame.
different
So
topic.
you know,
That should never
first
have
try.
been-
So
That guy should have never sniffed the Hall of Fame.
You obviously don't know sports. That's fine. It's okay.
Dude has like 37 career touchdowns, man. Like, why is he in the Hall of Fame?
Of the hardest touchdowns for anybody to get, but that's okay. Anyways,
Are they
we
worth
don't need to
more
go
than
down that
6
rabbit
points?
hole.
Sorry, I didn't know that return touchdowns were worth more than 6
doesn't
points.
matter.
My bad.
It doesn't matter.
Matters a little bit.
No, not at all.
Dude's like he's like a C tier receiver, man. Why is he in the Hall
He
of Fame?
wasn't even a receiver. That shows how much you know.
He was a Debo Samuel of 2007.
He got switched to receiver. He was a defensive back. In the
Hey,
beginning.
real quick, medkit. So I went in, and
Yeah.
it definitely there's purple glow on the
it's blue
abilities, but it's
across
blue
it.
lightning. Like I just put it full screen so people can see, right? But there's definitely like purple glow around his abilities.
I see mostly purple. There's blue, but I see mostly purple.
Really?
I think it's orange.
I think it's orange.
Hey
Might be
Pinzo,
colorblind, though, I don't know.
your tint is messing with everything again. Yeah, I see purple VFX with blue lightning is what I see. Anyhow,
The sword comes down. That's purple, but the actual
It's like blue
lightning,
to start, and then it
the
turns
lightning
purple.
bolts that come off of it is blue, but like the summoning of everything is purple. That's what I see. If that makes sense.
There's some of both.
I love this character.
yeah, I genuinely enjoy it. I gotta say, in general, part of me, and I know this, you guys are gonna hate this with the whole phase shit that we talked about earlier, but in general, I'm kind of glad that we got Kwang now. Cause like, imagine the
I'm glad we
reverse
got it
role
last,
if we got
honest.
Kwang before and now we just got phase or something like that. I'm like,
Oh, I see what you mean.
like
I'm glad we
I
got him last
I'd
because
rather
I
have
don't
phase
think-
like a
You're like, oh,
yeah, I'd rather have phase 6 months ago instead of have phase now before an original hero. Does that make sense?
I think that I mean, I obviously have no idea behind the scenes. I feel like he's cooler now than he would have been if he got released 6 months ago. Like, I think they had a little more time to cook, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, fair, because
I have no-
usually
well, okay, Medkit. Yeah, blah blah blah. Kwang's been in
No,
production for the
you're-
last 8
yeah.
months because they thought he was
No,
gonna
no,
win the
no, no.
poll. I know
I'm
all that
agreeing
shit.
with you.
Yeah, I
I'm
know
agreeing with you.
Medkit. I know they thought
Just
Kwang
can't
was
say
gonna
anything.
win, so they already made the character
No,
8
no,
months
no, no,
ago.
no.
Okay.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the whole cook thing in the oven.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like
Like a
it wouldn't
baby?
have been as cool, but who knows?
Anyways,
Yeah, I mean,
What?
he's still Medkit. Since you love the character so much, I like my one question is like, do you think that his passive
dude's got
being a worse
PTSD?
version of Crunch
Should we
passive
say
is, like,
babies?
bad?
hey,
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Can you repeat that question, Pinzo?
Do you think that Kwang passive being a worse version of Crunch passive is like bad / boring?
Oh, 100%.
The empowered.
when I first read it, I was like, huh, that's interesting. Because it was like, I use an ability and it's like another spell / type, right? It's like, it reminds
It's
me
like
of
half
what?
the other passives in the game.
Ella
yeah.
Frost, augmentation, and what's the other one?
Oath-
Oathkeeper.
Oathkeeper. It literally is Oathkeeper
Yeah.
passive. I wouldn't even say Crunch passive, bro. It's an Oathkeeper passive.
Yeah.
Well,
But then
no,
I
it's
was
Crunch
like,
passive. It's almost 1-for-1 Crunch passive.
but the more I play with them, I'll be honest, I'm starting to really like the passive because of the way you can kind of
Chain combos.
like
stuff.
trade. No. It like, okay, so let's say you have wave advantage and you can auto them if you want to, and you just trade it with your RMB, depending on whoever their primary bread and butter attack pattern is, right? Sometimes I don't want to auto them. Like, let's say they have a huge wave, I don't want to auto that. But if I have minion wave advantage, I can trade with my one bread and butter move, and I can hit them, and I just get a free 1 second off. So then I can kind
He
of
can trigger
trade
his
again.
passive without autoing people. His passive
I thought it was
is
just-
area. It's
I thought it
area
was just on
around you. So if you
heroes.
hit minions and the
No,
magic
no,
damage
I was talking
hits
about
a
the
hero,
cooldown reduction.
no, you get it. As long as the magic damage hits a hero, you get the cooldown reduction, and the magic damage is area around you, so you can
Oh,
auto
yeah,
minions
that's right.
and get the CDR.
So that's what I normally do. If let's say the waves even, or if I want to hit them, I would like right click and hit a minion close to them. So the splash damage hits them and I'll still get that reduction.
Yeah.
I mean, so right now, like offlane is my weakest role. I'll say that right now. Offlane is my weakest role. And I'm like forcing myself to learn Kwang in the offlane. I can play him in the jungle, but I'd rather challenge myself and just kind
play
of
him
like
support.
learn. I mean, I did that once and it was fun. Rift Walkers, Kwang, fucking nutty. Anyways, but like, I think offlane, in my opinion, now that I've been playing a lot more offlane, I would say offlane is like the second hardest role to play in the game, right after jungle. Just because like you have to really know your matchups really well, and there's a lot of them, and there's gonna be even more. Like the more heroes comes out, that kind of thing.
Lord knows if you lose that 1v1 a little too early, you just set yourself up for the
Yeah,
rough
it's
next
just-
10 minutes, bro.
It's just hard. Yeah, it's just hard to like. You have to
Like level
really.
2, you don't get to play anymore.
You have to really like bank on them making a mistake and you punishing them properly, like for free even. Because like if you die before like the 4th wave, that's just I mean, if the jungler kind of cringe ganks you like level 2, you know what I mean, like level 2 red buff strong side jungle gank, hopefully your jungler sees that and plays accordingly, like maybe he verticals or something.
Right.
Because like normally whenever I get ganked, I don't immediately go like, oh, why are you here? Why are you attacking me? I would like, okay, if you guys get me, what is my jungler doing according to that action?
Counter that.
Is he doing something productive? Like, oh, he's on that side of the map, might as well vertical or like maybe take that objective that's there or something. That kind of thing. Anyways,
just showing presence as a jungler in the offlane though can be detrimental for an offlaner, because it does just gives the other offlaner that time to be able to just free farm in a sense, and then you're like, well, now they're ahead in a little bit. It's like now you're trying to build that lead back up, and it's like you're trying to counter that, and that can be hard enough to build off of.
It can.
That's why F6 hasn't been playing, because he's not that good at it with it anymore. He's got to play Pale World.
Oh my god.
Damn.
I will steal your entire jungle. I will make an alt account.
Hey, actually, can we?
If you like even let's say you do get ganked, hopefully your teammates, including your jungler, sees that and can play accordingly. Like, oh, technically speaking, you should be looking at the mini map like every 1.5 seconds minimum. Like you should be looking at that like a hawk. You see the jungler. I mean, that's like early game. That's like a third of the battle is like just trying to track the jungler if you can. You don't want to get ganked. You want to farm efficiently. You want to trade well, that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
Anyways, what were you saying?
Window's gone. Anyways,
he's gone.
Welcome back, F6. I just saw you showed back up on stream, so I wanted to give you a hard time.
Ask him a Kwang question.
A Kwang question.
Yeah. Who do you think is the best counter against a Kwang offlane, F6?
Best counter?
Yeah.
Honestly, anybody? Not even say Richter, because like once it's like you kind of play into his silence. I would say any type of like assassin to be able to just trade into him well, and you just burst him down. So like, if you're just doing more damage, then he's able to get his abilities off. He's kind of out of luck, right? I don't think there's necessarily. I don't know, to be honest, because when it comes down to it, I'm like all about like it depends on like how you play. Like if you don't play against his abilities, like you're just kind of out of luck. But honestly, Grux, you can just beat him up the entire time. It's not fun for him at all. That's also what Grux does.
It is what Grux does. That's my boy.
I might make a
Deal is
Forgot
good
about
because he's
that.
a natural counter to like most people with his passive. His passive just makes him trade well into pretty much anybody, or just survives. He's what else would be? He's
Okay.
not that good into Zarus, because Zarus just kind of stops him from doing what he wants. Obviously, he could use his ultimate to teleport to his sword, or he could use it inside the ult, but he could also just get stunned really quick by AQ. If he doesn't have like a true silver, he doesn't necessarily have anything with his ult, because his ult right now is just really easy to stop.
Right. All right. Wendy, what were you going to say?
I actually wanted to talk about other news in the mobile world specifically that could affect Predecessor and how Predecessor should react. I'd love to hear your ideas, because we all know that Smite 2 is on the horizon. We all know that there's hype being built up around Smite 2.
Yeah, baby.
Right? And Pinzo knows this very well because he came from Smite, right? So we'll go down the list. Let's go in the exact same order that we introduce ourselves. What do you guys think that Predecessor should be doing, if anything, with Smite 2 being around the corner? Whether it be strategies, whether it be like focusing on A, B, C, or D. What do you guys think that Predecessor and Ometa should be doing with Smite 2 around the corner? You can start it off, Medkit.
Starting with me. Okay, so I think I don't know if Pred's player base has that many like Smite X Smite players, nor do I think Pred players migrate back to Smite or a lot. I don't think it'll be affected that much, but that being said, like everyone has their second game that they want to play, so maybe if someone really likes Smite and that's their second game, they go over there and they play that way more than Pred. They end up having more fun. They'll just stay on Smite. I mean, there's not much like Pred can really do about it. Like for me, I'm kind of like waiting on like the next Monster Hunter game. Like I can see myself kind of playing that more than Pred right now, if it came out.
Interesting.
So I won't like.
Hold on. F6.
Anybody.
Hold on. F6 has to go
Wait,
before you, bro.
F6 first?
F6 has to go before you. Then you go. Yeah.
I thought I was first. My bad.
Go ahead.
Medkit's first.
I thought it was my turn.
I mean, I don't think they should be doing anything according to whatever the hell Smite 2 is doing. One, because they need to figure out their own consistent stuff. Like they need to figure out their release on content, how they're going to do their entire launch.
Like they got their own problems.
Yeah, they have a lot to fix just by themselves. Without, even if Smite 2 wasn't coming out, they would still have the same stuff to fix. So they need to get that right first. And then when it comes down to it, I don't think necessarily Smite 2 is going to be like a huge threat due to the fact that, like you said, we don't have a huge player base in the first place. And it's all going to be coming down to if they're able to fix what they have, what problems they have now, i.e. content, so like ranked and all the other stuff, and like going with the 6 item. Once they kind of implement all of that, then they kind of like try to essentially compete towards Smite. But I don't think they have anything to really worry about with Smite 2 at this point. I don't think it's not like you said, like all the players are Pred are necessarily from Smite. I know we have some Smite players. If anything, they'll come over to Pred once Pred figures out how to kind of get their content out a little bit faster. But yeah, and I don't think Smite's going to change too much. I mean, just because you're making it look better, yeah, that's good for a while. But if they don't make like internal hardcore changes towards like items and heroes, and that's not really necessarily going to change the game, right? It's kind of like Overwatch 2.
Okay. Wait, are you done? I don't want to interrupt.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Number one,
Mhm.
their item system is completely changing. Just so you know, F6. Item system out the window, new item system. It's League item system coming to Smite.
Yeah, but the items are the same. You know what I'm saying?
There's like active items and everything. It's League item system. Anyway, I have talked to some people, and they basically said this is from like Ometa level people. They basically said they don't really view like Smite and League as competitors right now, because they're not really competing. Like their goal is not to compete right now. Their goal is to compete, you know, like basically when the game goes free to play.
I agree with
so
that.
like, which is like that is
Kind of like the
understandable
predecessor
take.
motto, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's very
competing with you
understandable.
guys in the pred rankings. Like I'm at my own level right now. I'm more at Mometa's level compared to
Mometa?
Smite.
Well, but is your goal to compete with us someday?
I would love to be up there, yeah, eventually. But that's why I'm grinding it and getting better as it is.
I'm gonna say a little bit different, but I'll continue. Basically, I think Smite 2 is me personally as a Smite player, I'm pumped, man. I think Smite 2 is a huge change, and it's something that a lot of people have been waiting for. And I don't think that it's going to kill Pred. Like I don't think Pred's gonna dead instantly because Smite 2 came out. The other thing you have to remember is like Smite 2, when it comes out, it's supposed to come out like this spring sometime, I believe. It's going to be closed.
End of summer
doors.
should be their beta. Their closed beta, end of summer.
It'll be closed doors to start. So Pred won't have to worry as much while it's behind closed doors because not everybody will get in, right? But once Smite 2 kind of goes free to play and gets out there, like that's when I think Pred maybe starts worrying a little if they're not free to play at that point. But like, I don't know. At the end of the day, I do think F6 is basically right, where like Pred's got its own issues, man. Like regardless of Smite 2, if Pred doesn't fix its own issues, like it's on the downward trend, right? I mean, they kind of gotta worry about themselves first here.
Bearded?
Y'all done?
I think.
All right. No, I don't completely disagree with you, Pinsu, or UF6. I think I agree with the fact that in the current time frame, like don't even worry about it. Let Smite 2 do what Smite 2 is doing. Keep your nose to the grindstone, keep doing what you're doing, but you need to work on yourself, making yourself stand out as a MOBA and not being just like the others. You need to work more on the verticality side and emphasize that, because Smite 2, to my knowledge, isn't going to really have that verticality. Like it's still going to be that 2.5 access that you have right now with Smite originally. So yeah, you're gonna have better looks, but you're still gonna be the same X and Y access instead of the Z access. So you need to emphasize that Z access a little harder with the map and stuff like that. So new map, however that works out, whatever characters, how they're able to items like galaxy creeps, things like that in this game that kind of let you really emphasize the Z access a little harder. You need to have things like that just kind of set you apart from the League of Legends, from the Smites, because they don't have that ability, and you need to be able to emphasize that. That's what Paragon's whole thing when they first came out was the fact that they're a third-person MOBA, a true third person. They need to work on that and make sure they get themselves set apart there and take the lead of that third-person MOBA genre. That's what they need to do eventually. But again, I don't think it's something they need to worry about right now, or even the summer when the Smite 2 does come out. It's going to be the same thing. You saw when PTO did their closed beta test, their numbers went up. Our numbers kind of went down. We did our closed beta test. Our numbers went up. PTO's went down. Smite's going to come out. Their numbers are going to go up. Our numbers are going to go down a little bit. People are going to say they're going to like it. They're not going to like it. They're going to come back, whatever. Or they're going to like it and they're going to stay. It is what it is. And then until something says, hey, I need to go back and try this game, or they do something over there they don't like, like, hey, I'm not dealing with that, I'm coming back. Like stuff like that's going to happen. If you play a MOBA, you're going to play a MOBA. If you enjoy it, that's all that matters.
See, so I'm with y'all, but at the same time, I'm 1,000% glad that Smite 2 is being announced and that there's so much heavy marketing behind it, because it's going to put pressure on Ometa as a studio, whether that be pressure for their content. Once Smite 2 starts dropping content, they're going to start getting compared, for example, whether it be as far as even just competing for the market. Because here's the thing, a good example would be if a new shooter comes out, even if they're not in the same realm, people are usually going to start comparing to things like Call of Duty, Battlefield, whatever. because there's a new big game. There's a new big game in the genre, and it brings attention to the genre. The fact that 3D MOBAs are getting quite a bit of attention right now from Smite 2, right? And the fact that that genre is being looked at in general, that's really, really good for Predecessor. Whether they want to double down and apply some marketing at the same time as Smite 2. Like, you know how, like, any content creator here would know that, for example, if I put Pinzo on my search engine optimization, now the moment somebody looks up Pinzo, my video is going to start showing up too. You get what I'm saying? So it's very easily to, I mean, it'll be on the list somewhere, right?
Kind of how it works.
Right. But what I'm saying is, if there's a lot of hype around Smite 2, and granted, there's waves when it comes down to it, I think that they should not only be kind of like who knows what their internal structure is, but almost like prioritizing towards having retention, prioritizing towards those things that they might get compared to against Smite, and then do a little bit of marketing once, let's say, like the alpha comes out in Smite. Because imagine the closed alpha comes out in Smite, and they're like, hey, we're in a closed status right now, but imagine it's just like PlayStation by the end of the summer. Imagine PC players can join for free, but it's closed. It's not officially open, if that makes sense. Imagine at that point, now it's like, hey, we don't have a barrier to entry, a monetary barrier to entry on PC. Come check us out. Like, there's a lot of stuff that they can set themselves up for, so that when Smite 2 waves start hitting, they can try and ride some of those waves, whether it be popularity, whether it be comparisons, whatever. Even bad publicity is good publicity at times, right? So I honestly think they yeah, by all means, that's a great line, right? But at the end of the day, I think that they should be using the Smite 2 wave to every advantage that they can, by all means. Especially if they're getting like a post from Epic that got 90,000 views on that simple tweet, for example. This is like they need to capitalize.
Iron sharpens iron. Like it is good for us in the sense that it
but
should.
Like if your iron isn't hard enough to sharpen other iron, your iron breaks.
Fair. That's a good example.
Like there's a limit. There's a limit. Because otherwise, I mean, the question would be, why does any game die ever if iron sharpens iron?
So, well, I think where I would emphasize is the fact that,
then obviously,
I think where I would emphasize it is the fact that they have to prepare themselves for that time frame. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, I think we can all agree Predecessor is a good game, but it's not there. Like I wouldn't want somebody to compare Smite 2 versus Pred just yet. I would love a couple other systems in here, whether it be ranked, more items, more characters, etc. Right? But if they can help get closer to that point, let's say in 6 months' time, let's just say August, then it might be a better, like a little bit stronger iron at that point. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying compare them now. I'm saying them having a fire under their ass to work a little bit harder is going to be a good thing for all of us.
But like, I mean, I guess my response would be, look at Pred 6 months ago, and then tell me that you think in the next 6 months that they will be in a spot where it's okay to compare it to Smite.
I would say 6 months ago, they didn't have the pressure of somebody like Smite, because they might have looked at Overprime and be like,
always pressure.
Well, from the original Smite, but even from the Smite community, it's always like they could easily dismiss the original Smite because, oh, like, hey, Smite's a dying game, this and that, and blah blah blah, it hasn't changed in forever. They could easily just kind of sweep that under the rug and be like, hey, we're gonna be better in the long run, we don't gotta worry. But now they're stepping their game up, and now it should be a concern. Not that they have to focus on it, but at least it's going to be a motivator, or they should use it as a motivator.
I mean, that's the goal, right? I'm just saying, like, in the last 14 months, I don't think they've done enough. Even if they did in the next 6 months, if they did the same amount of work as they've done in the last 14 months, it won't be enough. This game is in a comparable state to Smite.
I agree with you. I don't think it'll be enough. But with Smite 2 around the corner, hell, even if they went back to like what is it? Updates every 2 weeks, content every 4 weeks. Even something as small as that would be a step in the right direction, in my opinion, as far
I
as
completely agree.
right, like as far as like getting the game to the position where it needs to
That'd
be.
One of the best changes they could make post season 3 is going back to 4-week patch cycles.
And I also think, like, I hate to criticize because obviously we're not behind the scenes, but the pace of content feels comfortable. Yeah, does that make sense?
You think they're kind of like resting on their laurels or a little bit, or?
Well, let's say giving them benefit of the doubt off of what we talked about before. Let's say for every one piece of content they release to us, let's just say they have 2 pieces of content behind the scenes that they're storing, right, for release. Just argument's sake, let's say that's a fact right there, right? At the end of the day, I still think that them only releasing 1 and keeping 2 in this scenario, that they might be like, that's enough. That's okay. That's fine. We're not competing with anybody, you know? Like, we're doing our thing at our own pace. And I think that's a healthy work environment, but in a business and realistically competing business, because hell, you're gonna get even compared even to Power World's content update and shit, right? Like
Probably, yeah.
Like realistically, they're gonna get compared to every game that gets released under the sun because a studio is a studio. You get what I'm saying? Like that argument's always gonna be there. So I think Smite 2 has the potential to make them shift from we're comfy, we're doing our thing, to now be like, hey, well, you know what? We're doing our thing. You might want to put a little pep in your step there, Tiger. If just do it. You said you'd get that done by when? 6 weeks? Could you do it in 4? Like, could we squeeze 4? You know what I'm saying? I honestly feel it's a little too lax. That could just be me. I'd love to hear from y'all.
Well, I think it just might be an optimistic point of view to hope that they've maybe been chilling, coasting a little bit, right, and that they can step it up. I'm again just to play devil's advocate, if nothing else, right? What if this is as fast as they can go? What if they switch to 6-week patch cycles because 4-week was too much and they couldn't get it done, right? Like that's again devil's advocate argument there, but right, that'd be a not good thing looking towards the future.
I think it's more of their mentality when it comes towards when they try to release stuff is probably the problem. I think they try to perfect things too much in an early access game. I think that's really the bigger problem. I think if they just send it, kind of just be like, I mean, this
Fuck
is
it, we ball.
Yeah, like it's 80% done. Tell me what you think about this 80%. Yeah, we already know you're gonna complain about the 20%, but that's gonna come anyways, probably. Let me know how you guys like this 80%. And then now that they have the system in place, we technically have content, whatever it is, and then they can finish out that 20% while also fine-tuning the 80%. But that's just my opinion. I don't think it's not that they can't do it. I think it's just they're waiting for like their opinion of perfection when they know for a fact that no matter what they release, we're going to come back to them and complain about it anyway. So you might as well just release something.
I'd love to talk about that, what you just said. Let's draw a random subject here of something that we know is coming. Let's say ranked. They got it ready, but it's not as refined as they would like. Should they release an unrefined version of ranked? Or should they refine it? Let's just say like they're matchmaking this and that, and I'd love to talk about give us a better version.
Bader's echoing.
There we go. He's okay now.
I muted it.
Yeah.
I was trying to keep up with what you were saying while I was disconnected from Zoom, so I had to go in there. My bad.
Yeah. So like you don't like most of these stuff like you could release it and take it out. They did it with competitive nights. It's not like you're a full release game. There's nothing that's gonna go wrong, right? Like you already released competitive nights. It didn't work out. I don't see why you can't do the same thing with other features. Like here's a ranked mode. We're just gonna do it for a month though. Let me know what you guys think. And there, that way, instead of just working on something without a majority of the player base's input, now you're just getting constant feedback while also delivering content. It might not be permanent content, maybe every like every month or so, month on and month off, kind of doing stuff until you get to a point where you're comfortable. But at least it's something more than just not having it at all.
I have a side note on that. Why? Because what you just said is like what I agree with you, F6. Why did they get 1,000 PC testers? Like, why not just ship us something and let us test it as like a community? Like 1,000 people is like 60% of the community, man. I mean, why not just let us?
So I think it's fear. I think it's fear of the feedback. Because here's the thing: if you're a tester, you sign an NDA.
Positive feedback on half the shit they put into the game, man.
What I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, think of it like this. But think of it like this.
Tell me that they're worried about feedback.
But think of it like this. The moment you become a tester, MedKids knows this well. And technically, us as content creators, we've been through this a little bit behind the scenes, right? We sign an NDA on certain things, right?
Yeah.
Who's to say that all these 1,000+ people that are about to test whatever, what if they sign an NDA that they can't talk about it?
You think 1,000 people are gonna hold an NDA? That's my first question.
I mean, that's rough by all means. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, what if this is an attempt to get their testing and feedback without having it be public? Because maybe competitive nights, as an example, like F6 mentioned a second ago, didn't work out. They cut it out, right? They just like, okay, we just removed it. They caught a little bit of heat from the community when it came out,
because it sucked. It was terrible.
But if they're focused on being so perfect, wouldn't they try to avoid a situation like that?
Well, I understand where you're coming from, but again, I mean, they asked for like 50% of the community to be testers, man. Come on.
That number's not accurate at all.
And definitely not 50%.
Okay. Again, rounding, call it a rounding error.
The reason it's not anything. It's not like they're testing new items. It's not like they're testing new heroes. It's not like they're testing anything. It's back end stuff. That's what's going on. That was the information that we were given behind the scenes, and that's all I'm going to say. So that's what it is. That's what's going on with it. That's why there's no PS4 players. There's no PS5 players. It's all back end stuff. They need a large amount of people in to actually test that. So we do know that they're working on their own back end to be able to get better matchmaking, to be able to get better toxicity reports in and stuff like that taken care of. So that's more of what it is. So they need a large amount of players, a player, in there to test the back end side of it.
I mean, I understand the qualms of not shipping something when it's not ready, but like, I don't know, man. I feel like again, and this is just my opinion, obviously my non-dev experienced opinion. I feel like I just prefacing F6, you know.
I feel that. Yeah.
But like, I feel like it's EA. Aren't we like all testers, man?
We are.
Like, isn't that what we're here for?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. It just feels weird to put half of it behind closed doors to me. I don't know. Like, I just like.
I mean, it's been like that though. Like MedKit's been an internal tester the whole time testing
things
like
that we didn't have. Testers though, and half of those guys don't even play.
I'm not gonna lie. There's some of this stuff IT lets go through. Well, I don't know if they let it go through, but I'm a little bit questionable. But like,
well, okay. From what I know of the testers is I hear that the vast majority of people testing the game are terrible at this game.
That's also might be a problem.
So that's where I think half the issues come in. Is it's just like,
hear that,
okay.
MedKit? They're calling you terrible, man.
When's the last time you played a test? When's the last time you played a testing
just me,
session,
the people that are gonna hear that and are in testing. They're gonna have a problem with Enzo soon.
I never said.
I'm just saying that's
testing was
from
bad.
The grapevine. I've heard that from many testers. There's multiple sources.
Give an example.
I cannot. I'm under NDA.
I only go to the grapevine when I'm drinking.
I see what you did there, wine connoisseur.
I'm just saying, they wouldn't let me in because they were worried I was gonna stomp too many lobbies.
I wouldn't be worried too much about that.
Yeah,
As long as F6 is in lobbies, I ain't got an issue.
True. But yeah, I mean, I just think it comes down to they just need to send some more stuff, and I think they have a lot of time before like people are like, also it's was it a closed beta or is it an open beta that's coming for Smite 2?
No, that's a closed alpha.
It's
So
a closed-
that's still like at least a year away from being
they
to the
they
public,
have
bro.
a
Like, so
lot of
it's got a good
time.
minute.
But I will say, Smite Alpha, the Smite 2 Alpha, it's supposed to release with like 25 heroes, and they're gonna add like 1 hero per week until they get to 50.
I mean, Smite can do that at this point. I mean, their team could probably pull out a hero every like 2 days if they really wanted to.
Yeah, that's a
My
AAA
point
company.
is,
Plus, they already have
like,
the heroes already made up.
We're sitting on a hero every 6 weeks.
I will say that's a very good Paragon predecessor example because they're grabbing heroes from a previous game, updating them to their new game, and putting them in the game.
Yeah, but we're not a AAA. Ometa's not a AAA company.
That's where the difference is. But the process is a lot more comparable now
And
between those two.
AAA, it's a AAA company, and it's their heroes. Like,
Yeah,
Ometa's taking somebody else's heroes, trying to figure out and put this car together. Smite's taking their car. They know it's their car. Like, okay, we just got to make it work better with this new engine we got. Let's put this engine in it, and we're good to go.
Yeah, you say that, but in comparison, that doesn't mean the mechanic that put that car together is still around. That might be a brand new mechanic saying, "This is somebody else's fucking car, bro. I don't know how this car works."
Know how it works? Like you're telling me that? Or yes, the Mazda mechanic that created the Mazda, that's what he does. But these Mazda mechanics that were trained to be Mazda mechanics are Mazda mechanics. You're telling me that Ometa's got a small.
The car's pre-built. Everything in Pred is on.
These are all epic. These are all epic mechanics within the argument.
You're exactly right, Pinzo. Just go ahead and create your own predecessor. Go do it. It's just plug and play. You got it, dude.
I obviously
Mercedes
don't have the
nuts.
skills.
It's easy. That's all you got to do. Put it in, man.
Are they making like what are they? This is an honest question. What are they making from scratch?
so I'm gonna so I understand what you're saying, Pinzo, and I understand what Wolverine is saying. So essentially, yes, they already have the car parts, right? We're gonna go with baited like metaphor here, right? They have the car parts. You are 100% correct, Pinzo, but it's different mechanics from like another company building it, so it's not the same company.
Yeah.
For instance, yes, you got all the parts you need for a Ford, but it's like Chevy building it, right? So it's a little bit different. Ford knows the process. Ford has the blueprint. Chevy doesn't. So they're kind of going in. Yeah, they know
American
how
of
the
you.
car should work, right? They know how it should be built. They should know where the parts should go, but it's not going to be the same exact process as if Ford was building
Imagine
it. So,
most of the way through, they're like, "What the fuck were these Ford mechanics thinking, bro?"
yeah, like why is this screw there, right? It's kind of like getting an IKEA thing. Like you're like, first of all, whoever made this knows where this screw goes, but for me, I don't find a need for this screw, kind of thing. So I think you're both right. What? Tell me you have not built IKEA
No,
furniture.
confirmed. F6 builds IKEA furniture and leaves screws laying around. Like, well, fuck it, they go somewhere.
This
I
looks
used to all
stable
the time.
enough. We'll be all right.
I have built Amazon furniture, but not IKEA furniture. I don't have an IKEA next to me.
Yeah,
so I
IKEA
don't
furniture
know.
is zero
I'm not-
instructions.
Yeah, within like
sucks,
600
dude.
miles. Of
Actually, zero
That
instructions. It's
sucks.
wild, bro.
That sucks. But yeah, so I think you're kind of both on the same point. It's just kind of a little bit different just because of that aspect of. just
No,
a
that's
different
that's
manufacturer.
all I'm saying. I feel like you said exactly what I was getting at. Like I'm not. It's gonna be easier for Smite to do what they want to do because it's their cars they're working on. That I can go with my job. I work with hematology instruments, right? There's other companies that make hematology instruments. My company also makes urinalysis instruments, right? But they sell it to another company to service. I don't know anything about that instrument, but my company creates it. So I could actually, if you give me the blueprints, it'll take me a minute, but I can figure it out. And that's kind of where I'm okay. Ometa's like that. Like, okay, you've given me an instrument that's already created. I just need to figure it out. I know what I'm doing because I've created a game before, or I've went to school for it. All right, give me just give me a minute. I'll figure out how to take care of this urinalysis instrument, but it's gonna take me a minute.
Went to school.
But say, I'll be real with you. The Ford and Chevy argument resonated with me way better. So thank you for that, X6.
I'm just saying, like it relates. I'm just saying it's not just a car analogy situation. I use the car analogy because that was used in one of the descriptions when Predecessor first came out. Somebody used that before. I can't remember who it was, but that was in one of the interviews before, like when this game first came out. That was one of the interviews that's going on. That's why I use that analogy. But I'm just saying it happens in real life as well, and I actually am experiencing it in my real life job. So it's there. It's not just, and I'm not a AAA company, you know, but I am a service engineer. All right, you give me a minute, I'll figure out what I got to do to fix it.
Yeah, I mean, it's still going to be a process, and we all know the Omega team is still more on the newer side in the development field. So I mean, I know you're like, it's fine, they've had 14 months to kind of get experience. You're right. But in the aspect of game development, that's still pretty new.
Ooh, I like what Shaded Sly says here. We also don't know how long Smite has been updating from UE3 to UE5 on the back end.
3 years.
I don't know.
I think they mentioned a couple years.
Yeah, I think it was like 3 years they've been doing it.
They've
and
also
then
said how fast they can make a hero from scratch in UE5, which is like 10 days. They make a hero from scratch.
You also got to take into fact that they're not having their character look around kind of like a first person.
No, but that's just a camera thing, quite frankly.
Yeah, but
camera and target.
I'm pretty sure there has to be a little bit more like to it when creating a character instead of in a 2D space versus a 3D space.
I think the harder part's going to be.
Characters don't look up.
No, so I think the where it's really going to come down to is
that's the only role in the game that looks upwards.
Yeah, mostly it's camera based. Mostly it's camera based.
Sure they can look up.
It doesn't move.
Really?
The reason
What?
you can't melee auto attack above you.
He says, "Son."
Loading in the game right now.
Right? But no.
I'm just telling you, I've tried. I've been stuck below a Gideon playing steel too many times. I know you can't hit that motherfucker.
So you're saying Murdoch
What?
just points his gun like this and he keeps looking forward? That's what you're saying?
They
Carries
look up, brother.
Carries are the only role in the game that look up.
Brother,
You
Melee
said
looks up.
carries only point their guns.
Mages.
That's all you
Every
said. That's what you
character
said.
looks
For now
up.
you're changing. So now you're.
All right,
hit somebody above you.
We're gonna need to get the comments and the people chatting to settle this one, because we'll be in circles on that one. But I'll put it to you this way: even though the fidelity of Smite 2 characters is stepped up quite a bit, I still think the aesthetic and fidelity of the Predecessor / Paragon type of character is probably going to be their biggest hurdle. And combine that on top of the fact that they really, really like refining their VFX. They really put attention to detail. For example, making sure that Gideon's rock is coming out exactly out of his hand, not like slightly to the side or whatever. Like little attention to detail like that, like F6 was mentioning, how they like to be as perfect in their own eyes as possible. I think those two are going to be the hardest struggle, and probably the reason why the character creation takes so long, because I'm sure they can crank out a character much faster, but whether that character is as good as they want it to be, that's the Predecessor dilemma we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Time will tell.
Yeah, it will.
See, I'm not worried.
Speaking of time, we're coming close to our 2-hour mark. I was surprised we're gonna hit it with all the content I didn't think we really had, but we got really close to it.
We should spend more time talking about like laning and counters and stuff.
That's what your videos are for. Go check them out. Is there anything specifically you guys would like to talk about?
Medkit laning podcast when?
That's a good idea. I don't know.
I'll come teach you off lane. You don't want to learn from F6, so.
Enzo, there's no shot.
I learned from everyone to be.
This man
to be
plays
fair.
at 7 a.m. Eastern time so that he doesn't get boxed up when I get online.
Grux is literally looking up. If I scan up, Grux is literally looking up as I scan up.
Auto attack above you. Go stand below
He's still
something and
looking
auto
up.
attack it.
He's saying so you guys are arguing two different things now,
Yeah.
because whether it looks up and whether it attacks upward are two different things, and I think that's where you guys are arguing.
Yes, exactly. I agree with that statement.
My argument was, I think that the character being able to look all the way up has to kind of play into their character design somehow.
Fix the neck. It's not working.
Fix the neck. If the character could attack up
Neck
though,
broke.
that's I think that would be a game changer. That would be something
Dude,
they
let
should
me
do.
steal stuff.
I feel like it
above
should be.
me,
I feel like it
right?
should be a
Come on,
thing,
how
no?
fluid would
Yeah.
that feel? It feels so good.
Especially with a game with the verticality, doesn't that kind of make
Yeah.
sense?
Xera's stun, Steel stun. Let me go up. Let me hit
I
above my
mean,
head.
fun fact though, you can take Gideon's portal and shield bash him to stop him.
Yeah, duh.
Same with Crunch. Follow him through the portal.
See, you say duh, Pinzo, but I was absolutely shocked when I saw it for the first time, and I was like, "There's no shot."
Like a
I've
year
never
ago,
known-
or was this like?
No, this was
recently?
like a recent. I was like,
Bro,
wait, I
okay,
can be doing
okay.
this entire time. But
Bruh,
yeah,
I saw a Grux come, like, you know how when you're technically jumping and you fall off of a ledge, you still go through it? I saw a Grux dash off of a ledge into the portal, come out the other side of the portal, knocking up the Gideon that had ulted immediately on the other side. I was like, okay,
Yep.
this motherfucker's a gamer. I'm gonna need,
That's
I'm gonna
based.
need you to chill the fuck
that's
out, bro.
based. Not gonna lie.
Ooh, something we didn't talk about real quick. With the change of console staying, they took away all the heroes, right? Now they have the heroes and being on a
Rotation.
A free rotation.
They have the free rotation heroes. I'm interested to see what data they get back from that with the hero unlock.
How console players like the whole contract system?
Like, the contract system and hero unlock, and like how quickly you're able to acquire somebody, if it's quick enough or whatever, or if they don't like it. Or I'm interested to see the data they get back from that, because I'm seeing people who are like on Facebook that are like, how come I don't have Kwang or anymore? I don't have whoever. Like, it wasn't Kwang because obviously he was part of the change, but like I don't have Wraith anymore. Why don't I have Wraith? What happened with that? You know, and then it's like people are pointing them to the blog post that explained what's going on. Yeah, so I'm interested to see the data they get back from that, just to see if that changes at all, because I know that was kind of the big gripe when it was only us PC players and we had to do it. A lot of people weren't very happy with the contract system and how long it was taking. So
It's way too long.
I do agree. It does take way too long. I mean, for the time that I'm able to play the game, I do play more often than a casual player, I would say. And it took me quite a bit to get Kwang. Like I said, I've been purposely not playing him now, but it took me quite a bit to get him unlocked to actually play him.
Yeah, no, I just
Wouldn't
definitely
like
get my money there.
wouldn't be like
So I'll just be
like weekend boost events and shit like that just help fix that problem?
Well,
Start doing
I
stuff like
think
that?
another
It would
one
be
of the
beneficial.
issues- I think one of the other issues is like, at least PC players who have been playing, right? The first character that to unlock was Sereth, right? And Sereth, Iggy, and Kwang were all 5-tier unlocks, right? And they said some of the characters are less tiers to unlock, right?
Yeah.
So like, I think that's also part of the issue, is that the 3 heroes we've had to unlock are all the maximum unlock.
Well,
Yeah, we don't experience it like a brand new
but that's what
person
it's
with
always
easier.
going to be for us. Every new hero we're gonna get that 5-tier. The people who are just coming new to the game
Have older
your
characters.
Normal, you're gonna have some smaller characters, like whoever it might be, like a Chimera who's supposed to be like a starter jungler. They're gonna be like a 3-tier probably or something like that. Like anybody we get that's new to the game is gonna be 5-tier. As they get older, their tiers are gonna drop off.
I know that's fair, but I do think I feel like that might be part of the reason as PC players that you feel like it takes so long is because it is the maximum length of any of the heroes as we're unlocking them, right?
Two different target
Because
audiences.
it's like 40 games. It's a good amount.
Also, when they release that free-to-play currency, I think they should give a certain amount based off your level or your time played, because if I have to start grinding free-to-play currency, that's going to be a little
From
rough,
scratch?
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Right. Well, I think another thing is, so like with that is they give you that whole week beforehand to kind of help you grind so you can be able to play him when he gets released, or play them, whoever it might be, when they get released. And like I said, I play more than a casual gamer, right? And I'm not saying that we should be targeting the casual gamer, but you should target them a little bit in a sense, because they're going to be what I would say, I don't know, a good 75% of our player base, right?
40.
And you want them to be happy. And if they're not able to even get close to them in that first week of like grinding beforehand, like it just says to me, that's a lot. Like it's a little bit too much as well. I feel.
Yeah, agree with that.
So again, I'm just interested with the data they come up with. I know they'll do right by the player base, just because that just seems like they've been doing. They've been making those changes. They made the comment about, like, again, the skins. If they do make changes to the skins, they're gonna, all the platinum that you spent on it, you know, they'll retroactively send you back what you missed out on. So they plan on doing right by the player base. So I'm just interested to see what the data they get from it, because I think that's where I feel it's at. Me personally, I didn't do a poll of the community, so I'll be surprised to see where we go from there.
Spice. Anything else anybody wants to talk about before we start doing our outros? All predded out. Spice. All right, so let's do this. Right, let's do our outros, same order that we introduced ourselves in. I'm sure we'll get it right this time.
Now I know
No, we
the
won't.
order. Okay, now I know.
Right? Oh, but same order, right? And as we used to do, let's start doing this again. Either give feedback to the community or feedback to the devs, from you to whomever you're targeting. Just like a little word of advice. Go ahead in the same order. Medkit.
So you can follow me on Twitter, medkityt. It's x.com/@amedkityt or something like that. If you follow me there, you'll see my memes. If you follow me on YouTube, which is youtube.com/amedkit, you'll see my predecessor content. I'm making more videos nowadays. I used to make a lot of shorts back then because I was just too busy, but now I have more time to like do some heavy editing and stuff. So a lot of my videos are fast paced. You guys might like that. Check them out. Yeah, that's about it. As far as like message to the devs, just I would say
devs or community, you can choose.
I'll do both. I'd say like for devs, I know for me, if like something is coming out in like too far away, like months later, I'd rather just hear it, like just tell me like a month before, so then I would have to wait less. If you tell me something that's like coming out in 6 months, then I'm gonna get not as hyped for it like a few months later. And then message to the community. Let me pull out my phone. Okay, so shout out to Mugiwawa. The least important thing is to play the game with right mindset. What is the right mindset? Let's state the obvious. We are in a MOBA where we don't want to become better, so we are looking for a negative mindset. How do we achieve a negative mindset? First, you need to be in a negative mindset. You need to be confident that you will not be able to progress and that you will hate your session, which means if you are tilted, keep fucking slamming.
Shout out to Mugi and his videos and his website and all that, for sure.
Why do I feel like you target that towards Pinzo?
Whoa.
It was
Whoa.
towards the bread community, but that's me. That's me.
That's
I'm
me.
I'm that guy.
I am him.
He said, I've never been so described by a horoscope. Goddamn.
Yeah, was that Virgo for the month of February? Because I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh, poor guy.
Well said. I'm F6. You can follow me on YouTube and Twitch at /F6. I do some PCC stuff, so you could stay tuned there. See that stuff coming out. PCC 7 coming in April, so that should be fun. A message to the devs: release stuff faster. Just go back to your 2 to 4 week cycle, and I think you'll be fine. Everything else you can kind of figure out. And then when it comes to the community, stop coming into my streams, ask me why I'm raging. It's my safe space. So if you don't want me raging all over Reddit or Twitter about just random stuff, that's where I rage. Okay, let me enjoy my time. I don't have anything else.
Understandable, man.
Yeah, like
I feel that.
these are our streams, all right?
Yeah, I hate
to my stream.
Yeah. You're like, why are you raging at your team? Like, bro, like, leave me alone. I don't care.
I'm not in his stream raging. All right,
Exactly.
I'm raging in my stream.
I'm not typing to him or anything. I'm being toxic in my own space. Okay.
Right, right. If you don't see me typing in chat, and during the game, but you hear me on my stream voicing that I don't like my Murdoch because he doesn't follow up, that's on them. All right,
Exactly.
but I'm doing it in a nice way because I'm not actually being toxic towards him. I'm just being toxic out loud.
He said, "Let me
Right?
back." Yeah, with y'all, bro. Alright, Penzo.
Yeah, I'm Pinzo. You can find me at Pinzo on all my socials. I stream every day. I upload YouTube videos every day. Just that kind of jazz, As far as message to the devs, my message would be, I know that you're working on stuff for the future, but I guess I would be asking to please not abandon the game as it is. People playing the game now still matter. I know that they're always worried about what's going to happen in the future, but the game as now still matters. So please don't let it go. As far as message to the community, good luck, man. We're all playing the same game. We know how it goes at this point. Good luck, Chief. Hopefully the matchmaking gods are on your side for the day or whatever. Good luck.
GL. Bearded?
All right. As for myself, Big Wolverine, you can see me on Twitch and on Twitter /X, depending how old you are. But Twitter on Twitch, you see me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I am grinding a lot of jungle. I've been working a lot. Got accepted as a sub on a team to grind jungle, so I'm working on that, and I've been doing some VOD reviews with a coach and working on with that. So definitely been getting improvements there. So excited to keep improving going on. I think last night I went 4-1 in my jungle games, so did really well there. I got a net positive there. So yeah, I'm better than Pinzo. It is what it is. It's no big deal. I mean, he's not net positive very often, so
Yeah, good luck.
He said, "Just good luck, bro. Just good luck."
Yeah, just good luck.
You're climbing out of that tumbleweed division slowly.
Yeah. This dude's in wood too, and he's trying to talk shit.
So hey, you're talking shit to a guy that's in wood too. So imagine how good are
He
you?
said,
My parents
"Welcome to my level."
My mama said.
But no, so yeah, so just come check me out, hang out there. There's times we're doing scrims, hang out, listen to the comms. Maybe you can learn something, or maybe you can just see that I'm doing something wrong, and you can learn from that. Positives either way, no matter what. And then help me out. If you see me do something wrong, let me know in chat. I'm all about backseat gaming. I'm all about learning. So help me out. Let me get me better, and then so that I can actually show Pinzo he's not as good as me. His facial hair is definitely not on par.
I don't know, man. It's been like 3 weeks. It's coming in pretty thick.
It's coming in pretty good.
He said, "This is
So,
progress, bro.
other
This is
than
progress. Let him be."
I do agree with the shout out to the devs with what F6 is saying. Bring us back to that 2 to 4 weeks. If you got to hire more people, I know I'm not saying hiring people is easy to do. You got to hire the right people. You want to have a good core group that you're working with. But man, if you got to hire more people, then we got to go ahead and do that, because we do need to get to that point. Because we, as the Predcast crew, we want to get back to our normal weekly shows that we're doing for you guys, because we miss doing this. And we're happy to be back here this week. And hopefully we can get back here soon with some more information with Emerald, codename Emerald, coming out here soon. And we'll see what the leak is tomorrow on Discord. But other than that, come hang out with me tomorrow on stream, probably around tomorrow's Wednesday, right? No basketball practice, so
1:02 p.m.
Yeah, 7:30 p.m. I will be live, so come hang out with me here on the Bearded Wolverine. Windu,
Spicy. And again, I'm Windu. You guys can find me everywhere, basically at Windu the Mace. Just been trying to game as of lately, so if you guys ever see me drop a random video, or if you go to meta.city and you just happen to run across one of my builds, leave a thumbs up. If you get a chance, send me a DM, comments, ask me questions. My DMs are always open. I'm gonna get right into just the feedback portion, because I think you guys nailed it on the head, basically, as far as like feedbacks to the devs specifically. I think that whole 2 to 4 weeks felt like a good pace, slower than Paragon, but at the same time it felt decent for the community. 3 to 6, I know the difference isn't too crazy, but it definitely just, it's like the lack of content is much more noticeable now just because of that extra week, and it's really weird how that has an effect. So I'm with you guys on there as far as the 2 to 4 weeks. Anything that that Omega can remedy to get towards that pattern would be awesome. And
you say extra week, real quick. Sorry, you say extra week, but if you think about it, the actual content, right? If balance is only extra week, the actual content's 2 weeks difference.
Yeah, that's true. It goes from every 4 weeks to every 6 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the difference.
That's 50% longer.
If they changed it to from a 2 to 4 to a 3 to 5, I don't think we would be feeling it as bad. But that extra 2 weeks, that's a huge difference.
That's true. And then as far as the community goes, it's again a little pessimistic, but set realistic expectations. This is a growing studio. This is a growing game. We all want the best out of this game. We all want to be excited, but I've been taking everything with a grain of salt for years, my G's. So it's one of those things where I'm like, hey, you're not going to get disappointed if your expectations aren't set too high, right? Yeah. So that kind of comes along with Omega setting expectations also. But as a community, we can have a handle on how we react to the situation. But
for example, Pinzo, your expectations should be a medkit beard and not my beard. That's set the realistic
I'm not hitting that.
Wait,
F6 mustache?
I trimmed it, so you have a chance.
You have a chance.
No, I'm being realistic, man.
Hi, bro. All right, but yeah. Much love, homies. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Predcast. We got a new character coming out in 2 weeks, so maybe we'll get another episode in the next 2 weeks, depending on what there is to talk about. So they say, right? We'll see how everything goes. But yeah, we appreciate everybody tuning in. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a GG wherever you are, whether it be live in the chat or in the YouTube comments, just to let us know that you made it this far. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace. Pay attention to Discord tomorrow.
Damn it, my mic was muted.